The Red Pill Phone Tap. Oh my.
Episode 40.
A very special episode 40, right? And wow, I'm not kidding. We did not plan this. On episode 40, we do a deep dive tonight into 49ers. What they are, how they operate, how they can damage your dating game and your rotations. We did not plan that.
Nope.
Episode 40 is about 49ers. I can always reference that from now on, right?
Yep.
I can always be like, oh, you don't know what a 49er is? Episode 40. The only thing cooler we could have done is done it on episode 49.
Yes.
But you know what? That's not the path we take.
Right. Well, you just let shit happen, and then we deal with it like a man.
How has your COVID week been this week, Anthony?
And
you're a man in the dating game.
I ain't do no dating this week, bro. But I did do some conversations. I had conversations. And I am finding something out right now in this moment in time of the COVID shit.
Okay. I'm on the edge of my seat.
It ain't that big, but women are being a lot more open to meeting and hanging out because they're almost like, you know what? Fuck it. I've done a good job holding up in this fucking house, wearing my mask, trying to be careful. I want some dick. So,
yep. Eventually that dam breaks.
I was about to say the seams were fucking bursting at the the women were bursting at the seams because it's like, all right, I can't use this as an excuse forever. I am out here wanting a man, and I want to be around a man, and I need a man in me right now. So, yeah, conversations have been on the uptick of meeting and getting together. So, fellas, I would say push the envelope on meeting women right now because that's available to you. And I want to be around and don't be afraid to do so. All right?
Yeah. Sorry about the sound problems there. You and I have had this conversation, though. You've been like, eventually they need some dick. Eventually, right?
Yeah, the vibrator kind of gets a little stale. Only does a couple of things. It's the difference between a warm body caressing and holding and thrusting you than just that. Because then their forearms getting sore and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, well, you just can't substitute a human. Now, the sex robots, they're pushing the envelope.
They're trying very hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember here in Houston, they were going to open a massage parlor of sex robots?
They shut that shit down so fast.
They shut that shit down. Boy, you've never seen the sexual marketplace of women more nervous.
It was about to go kaboom. Oh, yes, you don't want to give me no pussy? That's your only playing chip? Okay. Fine.
Here we go. Over to the robots. And look, these motherfuckers don't want me to buy them shit so they can take pictures of it on Instagram.
No.
They don't complain. They don't hold the pussy back. I can't. Anthony, I was just thinking about this the other day. And I'm sorry to go off topic. Guys, our intro is coming, I promise. But this is something important I want our audience to hear. I think I always kind of get a sense, because every once in a while, Anthony, we'll get a question from maybe our Facebook group or someone in the world will ask a question that will make me have like this spidey sense of like, we don't really believe this shit and we don't really live our lives like this, you know? And remember when Patrice O'Neal, when he was going on Opie and Anthony, they were they were in the very beginning stages. They were very like,
they couldn't believe. Yeah,
this motherfucker doesn't live his life like this. And as they started to kind of see his life more, as he became more of a friend of the show, they were like, they kind of finally conceded to, because they conceded to like, I can't do this, and they could have done it. We know better. But they finally conceded to like, well, this kind of works for Patrice.
Right.
Yeah, Patrice does this.
Because he's an outlier.
And that's kind of what they conceded to. And then, of course, the Red Pill movement happens, and we start getting very specific on how we strategize this shit, right?
Yeah.
But every once in a while, I'll get a question, and it'll kind of put off my spidey sense that people believe we don't live this life. And it makes me sad because it tells me that they don't think that this life is possible.
Well, if they don't think it's possible, it's obvious that they're not living it.
Right. And it was something about, because we got a great question that we're going to get to later in the Q&A session. But every once in a while, I'll get a question, and what you were just pointing out with the sex robots, they're not going to hold back the pussy. But in my relationship, my wife doesn't hold back the pussy. Ever. She doesn't like having sex when she's on her period.
Well, you're married, Wesley. That's why.
I thought the opposite was supposed to be true.
No, I'm saying what guys was like, well, that's a good wife.
Oh, I see. Like I've got one of the good ones.
Yeah.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I have to keep reminding myself that my wife is not like this. It's because I'm like this.
Because if you allowed her not to, she will definitely use it when it will be convenient to her.
I agree with what you said, but I will say I never really think of it in terms of allowing my wife shit. I look at it like, well, first of all, you got to make the team, right? First of all, you got to make the team so you can kind of hold your head high and say, this is the life I deserve, right? That's number one. But number two is, it's not really what I allow her to do. It's what I allow my life to look like is more my paradigm, is what I'm trying to say. My life looks like this. Oh, so Patrice O'Neal famously, he said he had a girl that wanted to not have sex anymore. Like she wanted to like re-virginize herself, or I don't know if she found God. I don't know what the fucking thing is.
Yeah, that was it.
Found God?
Yeah.
Was that it? And he says, you know what? Hey man, if that's what you want to do, cool. Okay, I'm not going to do that,
right,
though. So, sweetie, do what you got to do. If you want to re-virginize and shit like that, by all means. I'm going to be having some sex, though.
Well, that's what I mean about allowing. Like,
yeah.
She presented an option.
Oh.
Right?
That's your life. I can't change your life.
Exactly. But I'm not going to allow you to make me accept it, is what my frame of reference was coming from.
And it's also kind of you know what? You are right when you say the word allow. Here's why. Most men go into marriages with the expectation that one day this bitch is going to get a headache.
Yes.
And not want to fuck.
Yeah.
Your bar for these women, guys, is often so low. I expect that she's just going to lose her shit and become feral at a fucking moment's notice. No, fellas. Your life doesn't have to be like this. Your wife, it doesn't have to be like this. They go in with the expectation, happy wife, happy life.
No, I don't think they go into it with that expectation. I think they use that to keep from crying inside. Because
you're right.
They have to convince themselves that this is okay, even though in their gut they know this sucks.
It's like they're going to a restaurant, and if Popeye's chicken sandwich is your favorite thing, right?
Yeah.
Every time I go to Popeye's and get that chicken sandwich, I expect it to be the Popeyes chicken sandwich. If you go in thinking though, well, sometimes there's bird shit on the patty. That's just how life is.
No, Wesley. We're going to go into detail. We're going to deep dive this shit. What does a Popeyes chicken sandwich look like and taste like when you because some people may not ever had it.
Oh, Jesus. Well, Jesus Christ, guys. Live your life. Get out there and get this sandwich.
It's a brioche bun, toasted. With, if you get the spicy, you got to get the spicy.
I was about to say, you got to get the spicy.
It comes with a spicy mayonnaise. It has the thickest piece of white chicken that I've ever experienced on any chicken sandwich.
Deep fried, so it's juicy.
Juicy and crispy.
The batter is Popeye's batter, which is just amazing.
And delicious. It's just fucking amazing.
I didn't realize that was a brioche bun, by the way.
It is a brioche bun.
And because we just did the brioche bun last week, right?
Yeah.
We had dinner before the podcast.
It's the soft bun action, too. And it's just...
Well, because you did that. You put them in the pan with butter.
Yes.
And you made them like extra soft for our burgers.
So you're looking at the tangy pickles. What kind of pickles are those, man? Those are the fucking round, like, what they call it? The kosher pickle?
Yes. That's what I was going to say, too.
Oh.
They're very specific with the pickle because it's a thick cut of pickle.
Yes.
It's the perfect texture. You know those thin bullshit thin pickles?
Flimsy.
It's
got a hole in the middle.
You try to hold it up, it just flops down
right.
like a fucking banana peel with no banana in it.
Not these pickles.
Not these pickles. You hold it up and it just keeps, it's strong enough. It's also sliced the perfect thickness.
See, this is the perfect fucking woman who you married. You was like, I don't need no more bitches. This is the one I want.
How much does a Popeye's chicken sandwich cost?
Oh, was it $3.99?
Yeah. Not expensive.
No.
So, I mean, since it's not very expensive, Anthony, I mean, most of the time they give us a brioche bun, right? I mean, sometimes they put the spicy mayo on.
No.
I mean, we can't expect them to have good pickles every time, right?
No.
Stop going to Popeyes with this expectation. Stop showing up to your relationships with this expectation. You're coming in below the bar, guys. If you go in with high standards, this is what women are good at, by the way. Remember how, like, we want to keep a running list? There are some things that women are better at than men.
Right.
And it's only like 5 or 6 things. Let's not get crazy, guys. But that is one thing that women are good at. They are good at coming to your bar where you set it. They're good at that.
Well, they
instinctively.
They play a supporting role. So they can only be as good as you are. So as long as you are at a high level, then they have to meet you there. And then they know they have to meet you there, so they have to even become better than they are if they're not at that level. Yeah. So I always tell a woman, all my female friends, if they know me, they heard me say this to them before, that your man should make you better, and if he didn't, you're wasting your time.
That's a good take. I've never heard you say that, but
I tell this to women. My women friends.
That's a damn good take. I mean, you should be a woman should be coming up to your throne.
Yep.
Not to dethrone you. That's different. Not to dethrone you.
You're a supporting cast member.
You're the highest station a woman can have in a romantic relationship. The highest station that a woman should have is being number 2 in charge. As Patrice O'Neal said, it's a great system. The king and queen system.
Yes.
Because whoever the king marries, that they become the queen. Mm-hmm. But if the king dies and the queen gets married, that motherfucker doesn't become king.
Nope.
No, that's not how it works. Yeah, the highest level you can get to, ladies, is queen. And it's a fucking good job.
Does he become the queen's bitch?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check.
I think so.
I never heard of a queen's husband. I never heard of that.
Well, they liked doing that shit. And see, they found the loophole. Women always find the loophole. They found the fucking loophole was don't get married.
Okay.
And I get to stay in charge of the kingdom. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because she's grieving her husband, right?
She just never remarries.
Well, the reasoning is just like, oh, I'm grieving my husband. You know, I don't want to give this pussy away to another man publicly.
Well, also, if the rules are in a marriage, the man's in charge, and if the bitch wants to be in charge, she just don't let a man in the room.
Yeah,
that Queen Elizabeth, all those famous queens, they figured that shit out quickly.
They would always have this. Was he a council or what was his name? What was his position called when he?
Well, we can just call
advisor?
it what it is, eating her vagina. Yeah.
Well, she could have her female whatever do that if she wanted, but if she wanted a man, like typically she would get like a young knight to come in and for a special mission.
And lance her a lot.
Right.
Lance her a lot. Guys, we got a great show for you tonight. We are going to do a deep dive on the mythical creature that we call the 49er. We're also going to talk about in that segment the mythical creature that we call the 7-Elevens. Then we're going to do something special, something we should have done a long time ago. Anthony and I always have endless content to talk about. However, we wanted to throw it to you guys and ask you what you've been dealing with out there in the world, what you've been struggling with, and questions that you have answered that you want answered. If you're joining us in the live stream, make sure to put those questions up there. We will be taking some live ones. We have some ones from our Facebook group that Anthony has already mentioned to me in the pre-show that were great, I thought. But let's just dive into this. Anthony, this mythical creature called the 49er, who is this creature? What is this? Where do these creatures roam? What parts of the world? What is the definition of a 49er?
Well, it's not the football team players. It's not. That's not where we're going, guys. But this is a 4 that thinks she's a 9, and shout out to Coach Greg Adams. I've heard him use this before. I don't want him to think that I originate this shit. But a 49er, man. You definitely can't. You can't meet one and forget her. And this is the reason why. A 4 is a below average chick, okay?
Below
average. But she's a 9 because in her head, her makeup makes her better. Her job makes her better. Her status makes her better. Her friends makes her better. Her family makes her better. The guy she used to fuck makes her better. These are false additions to her value that she's thinking in her head makes her a higher value woman, and it's just false. It's false. All false. How do you say falsitudes?
Falsitudes. That's a new word for me.
Yeah, I'm making it up.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm going to add that to the vocabulary now.
It's all falsitudes.
Man, stop with your falsitudes.
Right. You basic bitch.
I was watching a video of Rollo Tomasi to support your point. Rollo Tomasi was doing a real. I think you posted that actually in our Facebook group where he was talking about this. He was going through a video of this girl, and she had a list, and she was.
Yeah.
You saw it? Yeah. And she was like, first of all, value, guys. And all y'all that are out here, with these Tatianas and everything. And when you value like a real woman, and I'm not going to lie, Anthony, when you listen to the shit that these women say in a vacuum, where they talk about like real women and women of value, women that have their own life going on and blah, blah, blah. It sounds right. I'll be honest. It sounds right. It sounds like, man, the more she talks, it kind of makes rational sense. Red flag number 1, women aren't rational.
No.
Okay? This is a wolf in sheep's clothing when women start getting all rational all of a sudden. Let me give you guys a real life lesson. When women start getting rational all of a sudden, watch how, spoiler alert for the end of this movie, it's something that benefits them at the end of the story. 100%. They're like, well, let me talk in man language and really fuck with this dude's head. Anyway, she goes to talk about women of value and value. Rollo Tomassi, to support your point, Anthony, Rollo Tomassi says, and rightfully so, he says, I appreciate you have a great job. I appreciate you're famous on the internet. I appreciate all these other things. But when it comes to attraction, the women that I want, I value two things and two things only. Youth and fertility.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies. You can't PhD your way out of being 320 pounds and really, really bad acne on all over your body.
That was Tommy Lauren, who I was trying to explain to you.
Oh, okay. I want to look up this Tommy Lauren.
Wesley doesn't know who Tommy Lauren is by her name. It's Tomi.
Yeah, and I honestly, Anthony, I'm glad that we're talking about 49ers aloud because, oh yeah, I know this dumb bitch. Ugh. She just parrots what Fox News says.
Well,
that's all she does.
Yeah. Well, she's what do they call those people? Grifters? Well, they get paid to have to put an opinion out. So like they would because they have a following that they can get people to follow whatever they say without even thinking twice about it. It's like, oh, well, that person said it, so I believe it to be true.
She's kind of a 49er in the media world, isn't she?
Man, listen. This chick has had
She's gorgeous.
surgery. Now, see, that's where I'm about to go. Look her up without makeup and before surgery. Look her up, Tommy Lauren, without makeup and before surgery, man. Oh, my gosh. I bet these guys never seen her. Look at this bitch! Do you see that picture on look at this. Look, tell me she's gorgeous again.
For real?
Tell me she's gorgeous again. Tell me she's gorgeous again right now. Tell me that she's gorgeous again.
This doesn't look real.
Tell me that she's
That doesn't look
gorgeous
real.
again.
That looks like a little too much. That doesn't even look like the same person.
It doesn't.
How did she get? Oh, you know what? I do see that. No, she had to get like hair implants or something. Or
I want to see.
That can't be her because the forehead is too much.
Is
right?
it?
Yeah.
What was that? Go back up. Go back up. Well, go back.
Oh, hold on. That must be real because it keeps coming up.
There was a doctor who said that she had plastic surgery.
Wow. Now, what was your point about this, though? This bitch is really not hot. She just surgeryed herself hot.
But she wants the cream of the crop because she deserves it. Because she has a lot of followings.
Well, she's also a real cunt online.
Well,
I mean, there's just this thing where we talked about this on the way.
I don't want to use her politics as an excuse. It's just because everybody has their right to their own fucking
100%,
opinion, and that I wouldn't.
I don't hate conservatives,
right? I wouldn't. Right, I have no qualms with your political opinion. What I do have a problem with, though, is you have no thoughts behind the words you use.
Yeah,
like there's not a consistency with what you're saying when you talk behind the scenes versus when you talk in front of a mic or in front of a camera.
Yeah, we went into a deep dive about. We went off microphone, went into a deep dive on that recently, asking my wife what she would think if someone just paid us to delete our shows. Remember that?
Right.
So you have to mean what you say. If you're going to have a show, right, Anthony, you have to mean what you say.
Yeah.
It can't just be us here repeating all of Rollo Tomassi's and Patrice O'Neal's shit. Now, certainly, that's the university that we went to was Patrice O'Neal, Rollo Tomassi, Corey Wayne, Coach Greg Adams, AMS, but we're putting all these lessons together to kind of make our own Red Pill Phone Tap lens, right?
Right.
Now, what was now when we were talking about 49ers, you brought this girl, what is her name? Tommy Lauren.
Yes.
What was the reason that you brought her up though? Is it because she's not
because
hot for
without
real?
makeup, I believe she's a 4.
I can't disagree with you. I mean, and guys, go ahead and take a look at these. What I Googled was Tommy Lauren before surgery. And, yeah, she's not an attractive gal. And the more you look at it, the
For
more you can
whatever
tell
reason,
it's her.
Wesley think that surgeons can't fix hairlines, but you can definitely fix hairlines
Well,
with surgery.
the problem is with Google, guys, we know how like Google works and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
If the same fucking image keeps coming up,
yes.
it could be wrong. It's probably not wrong though.
Tell me that you don't see the same facial structure, though.
I do. I just and
That's the
I'm
same
I'm starting to kind of see how far that forehead goes up because right here she has her hair pulled back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas it just seems like when she
knows
knows
that
she's
hair is
on
big.
camera,
Yeah.
when she knows she's on camera, she makes sure that hair is down more around that forehead.
She used to be engaged, and you think this guy didn't notice what she looked like without makeup before he skedaddled? The fuck out of there.
Well, can I speak to that though? Since we're talking about 49ers anyways. I dated a gal, you knew this person.
Yeah.
She lived in Austin.
Yeah.
And she needed to be fixed up. But when she did fix herself up, very, very attractive girl. But she needed to be fixed up.
I didn't think she wasn't attractive.
But I don't think you ever saw her without makeup.
Probably
like,
not.
Ever.
Probably not.
That's what I'm
I've only
saying.
seen her. Yeah.
I will make an exception for a lady. If you need to be made up, then you better fucking make yourself up. We're not going to have a lazy Sunday. We're not going to have... Man, shout out to my wife, by the way. Last Saturday and Sunday, she's like, hey, I need to fix myself up real quick. And I thought she was just going to go take a shower. Went in there just for us to sit around the house and watch TV, put on makeup. Yeah, man. Don't fucking put on makeup for people that are not your fucking husband that
Right.
you work with and shit.
Right.
I know that we're going to get to that later in the program too, with with a very specific question one of our listeners gave us.
But you really
I keep
don't,
looking over at this picture, man. I can't get over it.
You can't unsee it. I promise.
I
you.
can't unsee it now.
The
for
thing
sure.
is, though, man, I'm very different in that I respect that you could make yourself look better, but if you're going to lay around the house regular, I gotta still be attracted to you. Otherwise,
fix your goddamn self up.
I can't fuck with you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, if it takes the makeup and shit to make you look good,
For me, I can't give my kid a fucked up expectation.
now you're going deep, Anthony.
I can't do it, man.
This is very important because you're right and I'm wrong about this. What are relationships? They're to fucking have offspring, aren't they?
Yep.
Don't send me your emails saying otherwise. Stop. Okay? Our baseline of attraction is about
Procreating.
procreating. It's about fertility. It's about youth fertility. This is why guys leave their wives for the younger secretary.
Yep.
Because bitch can make fresh offspring for you. This is what your attraction is based on, guys. I don't want kids right now. I'm still in college. No problem. And I believe you. But what you're looking at when you look at women, you're looking at, can they produce my offspring? In the back of your mind. Even if you don't consciously want kids, guys. We say this on the program a lot. Otherwise, why are we attracted to titties?
Yeah.
Does it make any sense at all?
No.
There's a whole industry around going and sitting and having a drink, looking at
Watching
bitches' titties. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I want to see these titties. Guys, it's because that's in your DNA where this gal could provide food for your baby. And as Rollo Tomasi says, I appreciate all this extra shit you can do. Miss Tommy Lauren knows politics good, I guess. Miss Tommy Lauren, I have a feeling that the reason that you're not engaged is because you're a vapid person that just repeats what they hear on a certain news network. One of the things I wanted to point out too, Anthony, before we get off of Tommy Lauren, is, as you said, I don't mind if you're right-leaning. I don't mind if you're left-leaning. I watch a political show every fucking day that has one left-leaning person and one right-leaning person. Neither of those people, and we'll give them a plug, Rising on YouTube channel The Hill.
Yeah.
Crystal Ball and Sagar. What's Sagar's last name?
I just go by Sagar because I can't pronounce that shit.
Sagar has an Indian last. He's of Indian descent, right?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it sounds Indian though. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sagar doesn't communicate like a fucking cunt. And I'll give you an example of someone left-leaning that communicates real cunty. Bill Maher.
Yes.
It's just very dismissive, and
I can't stand his.
Okay, what do you?
Yeah.
How come Republicans can't just simply do this at X, Y, and Z? It's always he's talking real quipty and oversimplifying shit.
He's the guy who believes he's funny before he makes something funny, and it's like, motherfucker, make me laugh first before you get into this. Watch this. I'm gonna be very funny here. And it's like, motherfucker, just tell a joke first, motherfucker. Shit.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about with her. I'm not saying she's cunty because she's right leaning. I'm saying she's cunty because of her delivery, very like attackish and very. But I mean, bitches aren't logical.
Can I ask you a question? If you marry this chick and have a baby with her, and her baby comes out looking like her before surgery, you gonna believe this is your kid or not? If the baby looks like her before surgery?
That's quite a hypothetical. That's quite a hypothetical. One thing I do know now, and Anthony, I know you know this before I even say it. One thing I do know now, though, is there is an instinctive thing when you look at a kid and you can 100% know it's yours by looking at its face.
Mm-hmm.
So you experience that too?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because I always, like in my mind, I think back to baby pictures of myself.
Yeah.
And then I look at my daughter's face. I'm like, that's definitely my kid. Remember that lawyer? We played her video on this program and the divorce lawyer, and it was a woman, and she was advocating for men's rights in divorces. Remember this lady?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she'll never be called a bitch on this show ever either. She makes it into the stratosphere. But she was talking about how men matter and things like that. But she said she's given paternity tests hundreds of times. She's like, really? There were only like twice did the guy not know if it was their kid or not. You know, there's some crazy mammal shit going on in our brains.
And probably those other guys were probably in denial.
Yeah.
Because they really wanted the kids. But,
yeah.
And, man, I was going to send you this clip. But I just forgot. And it was this guy, man, who, man, you can see the fucking pain in his face. He knew that it wasn't his kid, but so he went and got us behind the scenes DNA test and found out it wasn't his kid, man. He still was crushed behind it, man. But
really?
Yeah, but
because he genuinely didn't know. Huh?
Well,
he was just positive Paul.
He just wanted it to be because, you know,
because he wanted to be a
dad.
Yeah.
But he's made some mistakes in the video you will see, but man, it crushed me, man, inside. Like, it crushed me inside. I think I posted in the group. I probably did. But
I will tell you, that person in Austin that we mentioned that I used to date.
Yeah.
She was married to a guy earlier in her life that had a boy 5 years old, and he was going to medical school, and he found out that the lazy eye that the little boy had, it's hereditary and it comes from the father.
Oh.
He learned that in medical school.
Oh.
So he's at lunch with my ex one day while they're married and together. And he says, do you think, let's just call him Johnny. Do you think Johnny looks like me? And she's like, looks a lot like his mom. You know, I think he just maybe takes after his mom a little bit more. Went and got the paternity test. Sure enough, wasn't his kid. And now it's 5 years old. Damn. I can't imagine that.
Damn. That's a whole bond you created.
Yeah, and the parents were like, well, we still want to be in his life. And he's like, shit. No, you can't be, Mom and Dad.
Right.
Because he can't be in my life.
Right.
This is already breaking my heart. You can't do this. So it's breaking everybody's heart. What do you think this bitch said? I bet you're going to guess this. What do you think she said about the kid not being his?
She said it was his.
No, well, she said it was his. She said, but when you find out it's not yours, hey, cat's out of the bag. What do you think her excuse was? What do you think happened?
I'm drawing a blank because I'm thinking that she's going to deny that.
Well, you can't deny science, right? Like,
right.
It's not. So
well,
what
she's
happened?
Probably going to say it was a mistake, or it was a one-time thing. Or,
I thought you were going to guess it. She said she was raped.
This bitch
That's what they
lying.
Dude,
come on.
That's the most common thing women say.
Come the fuck on.
You didn't know
bro.
this? That's the most common thing women say.
Listen,
and they didn't want to deal with it emotionally, so that's why she didn't tell them about it.
With it emotionally? Who didn't want to deal with it emotionally?
Yeah, and
that is a fucking lie, bro.
Yep.
No one who has a rape baby.
Exactly.
I know people do, but who has a rape baby?
Bitch, you cheated.
That's with somebody they rather marry.
Bitch, you cheated.
Exactly. With a lazy eye motherfucker.
With a lazy-eyed motherfucker.
You hoe ass. No, let me stop.
Now this goes. I know you think that we're taking. I know that you think that we're off topic, but we're not. How many people have children with 49ers, Anthony?
Plenty. Probably too many.
Because you said this before the program. A lot of the reason that men approach 49ers is because they're a 4 guy, and they've got this confidence of a 9.
Yeah.
And
it's intriguing.
Yeah, and as Anthony said on the way over here, he was like, this is going to be easy pickings.
Yes.
And then she's got this attitude of like a 9, and it will fucking mind freak you into thinking like, oh, maybe there's more to this bitch. Yep. Then you start going down that rabbit hole that bitch Rolla Tomasi was. A quality woman has this, and no, a quality woman. Listen, ladies, listen. A quality woman is very attractive. And then a bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
But you got to meet that first one first. And don't send your email shaming us because we love attractive women. Don't. We don't shame you for liking guys with a lot of money.
Bitches love attractive women. Like regular looking bitches love attractive women. Man, come on.
Ooh, that's something I wanted to talk about with the 49ers too.
Okay.
49ers are always hating on women in front of you. Always hating on women in front of you.
Why do you think that is?
Because they don't want the bar up there. We talked about that last week. Women want the bar down as low as they can jump over.
Well, I think because they don't want to be exposed for what they really are.
Yeah.
They don't want an actual attractive woman to be side by side with her. So they want to keep that bitch from a distance and attack her immediately.
And let me tell you guys, when 49ers, when they're talking about other women, trust me when I say that was not an audible play.
No.
They didn't call a hot route and think of some shit spontaneously.
No, they got that shit locked.
They got that locked in their playbook.
Yep.
Like, oh. I mean, and dude, 49ers, they are the meanest to women I've ever seen. Because to them, they're just, because they're not as attractive as these attractive hoes, they're just allowed to say the meanest fucking shit about them. You know? They're just allowed to be like, that bitch right there, I bet she's had 3 dicks in her at one time and blah blah blah, you know. Look at the way she, and that's the first thing they do. Look at the way she dresses like, a hoe.
Yeah, she gotta make her look less attractive because without her words, she is more attractive than this bitch sitting next to you.
Yeah.
trying to fucking judge her, and you trying to look
Can we
at
repeat
her.
that? Can we repeat that? That's so important. Without her words, this other woman is more attractive than her.
Yep.
She's going to figure out for you, fellas, why you're lucky to be with this 4
Pretending to be a 9.
and not with this real 9 that is acting like a 9.
Well, she's a 9 alone without having anything to be added. This bitch got a whole bunch of fucking. You know how you read a package and they got additives. This bitch got additives. She's a 4 with additives that she needs to pretend to be a fucking 9. Her attitude is making her a 9, not her a 9 because you like, you know what? You are a 9 because I figured this out about you. They normally have these fucking weird, fucking sarcastic attitudes.
Yep.
And that it seems like confidence, but it's actually they're hiding who they really are because they got to pretend to be something they're not. And that is your 49er. That if you can fuck on the first date 2-3 days and then exit stage left, then yes, pursue with caution, wrap up, get the fuck out of there.
But the problem, and this is why a lot of men end up having babies by these hoes. And yes, I said hoes, and that's not a term we throw around lightly on this show.
We like bitch.
Well, they're all bitches, but
I'm saying we prefer.
Hoe means a very promiscuous girl. Okay. Yeah, these hoes are very. You gotta be, and the reason so many men have babies with them, you gotta be really careful. These 49ers are they're pretty smart. They're pretty sharp, dude. They've got like a whole game plan down they got a fucking answer for everything. She's less than me because she dresses slutty. Blondes are dumb. Oh, really? She grew up with money. They are really fucking quick on the draw. They're like a fucking gunslinger from the old West. They're really smart. And for a lot of you guys that don't know about 49ers, let me share with you.
What? How can you pick one from the crowd? How can you tell that she's actually a 4, but there's something about her that makes her seem a little bit more intriguing?
Like I said, their playbook, they're just very, 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 very good on their playbook. You know what?
I was going to say they're more aggressive than your average woman.
Yeah, they're more aggressive, but they're also kind of smart. Like you always see this character, a 49er. Now in movies, all bitches are attractive, right? I mean, because you're not going to put an unattractive bitch in a movie. That's just crazy.
They're like fly traps to me, where they have this nectar that attracts us, and then by the time you get there, it's like, gotcha, got his ass.
They're also like these types that feel like they kind of have life figured out. That's another 49er characteristic.
Yeah.
Like they're very like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like you like, you know, like, oh look at this. I just got some Hardens. She's like, oh, Adidas. Yeah. I'm glad that you're really excited about your Chinese labor that paid for that.
This bitch.
Yeah, exactly. But she's not wrong.
She's
you see
not
what I'm saying?
but
she's not wrong. But she kind of like has this thing. Like it almost seems like she's kind of got life figured out. She's
a 97% will fall for that.
Oh, 100%. Because I used to be a 97%er, and I always fell for this dumb shit. You know who a 49er is? My most recent girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, remember that attitude? Very much like...
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, they kind of know a lot of shit. They're not as pretty, so they kind of had to be a little smarter back in the day when they were coming up, you know? However, and this is... Okay, before I get to the promiscuous...
And their parents know it, too, because that's why they got to teach them all this shit. Like, bitch, you're going to have to be smart.
Right. And people have to make excuses for shit. Well, you're not pretty, but you've got this really great characteristic over here. You're more mature and you got life figured out. But before I get to the promiscuous part, the reason I want to talk about the really smart shit is because, guys, this is a really clever magic trick. These women will be a lot more, they'll be a lot more intelligent, and they'll rationally say some shit to you, to like, well, I mean, the reason I'm a 9 and she's not is because of X, Y, and Z, and they'll have some clever shit. Guys, the reason 49ers are very dangerous to you out in the red pill community, as Anthony just pointed out, use them recreationally for sex, but don't settle for a 4. That's just crazy, right, Anthony?
Right.
But, dude, the reason that these creatures are very venomous and very dangerous to your life and your rotation is they'll get in your head and make you think, first, they'll make you think they are a 9, right? You can clean up these 4s. You can put a nice, you remember my most recent girlfriend?
Yeah.
That terrible chin, that terrible fucking nose, but she could.
But she would be super fucking nice when she
in public.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
she would have on pinup dresses and all kind of. I mean, she would make herself up.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, trust me when I say that bitch did not look good naked, at all, brother, at all. And I'm gonna put that on the top worst titties I've seen. Live in my life.
Do 49ers wear like body shaping equipment? Body shaping equipment?
That is Girdle Girl. Girdle Girl. Now, the one I was talking about did not.
No.
When I'm talking about how terrible this person is, I want to use facts only, so that there's no exaggeration.
Well, I'm saying the ones who,
because we don't need exaggerations with that person.
No, I'm just saying the ones that have different body types.
Yeah.
And they are hiding it with this fucking body shaping equipment that they put on, and then they wear this loose thing over it, but it looks like they got a shapely body under it.
Right.
And it's like, damn, I bet she fine underneath that shit. But she hiding that shit.
Yeah. Unsnap that girdle, everything falls out. I promise, guys.
Man.
We did a deep dive on that one night.
Yes, sir. I had one had the blob fall out on my ass.
The reason I want to point that out, guys, is because these bitches will fuck up your head and fuck up your rotation because they'll have you doubting yourself. A 4. How can a 4 make you doubt yourself? How can a 4 make you think you're less of a man than you are? Because they're fucking smart. These 49ers, guys, they're dangerous creatures. You know what? The more aloud I talk about this, Anthony, I do think that the 49er is more dangerous than the 7-Eleven.
Really?
I do. You know why? Because you should never be in a relationship with a 4. Ever.
Never.
These bitches are in relationships all the time, aren't they?
But you know why guys fall for this, though, right? Because if she can convince you that she's a 9, she's gonna give you the sex up quickly because she's a fucking 4, and before you leave, she's got to trap your ass with sex. So she's gonna give it to you like a 4 should, because she can't play the fucking what you call that when you shoot blanks and they got one bullet in the gun.
Oh, Russian roulette.
She can't play Russian roulette with the pussy on you, because as soon as you figure out that she ain't giving up sex, you're going to start seeing some other faults. Now, a real 9, and she don't give up sex, you're going to be like, but I'm with a fucking 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, you give yourself excuses. You don't look at her like, you're like, fuck, I'm with a 9, though. I'm with a fucking 9. Like,
all right, let's wait till date 3.
Right. I'll play this a little differently, because she's still with me. What's up? What you got?
No. Go ahead and finish. I just want to let you know that
there's a good comment coming in.
Yeah, a great comment came in.
All right.
And it's also something you said on the drive over here.
Okay.
That's why I'm proud of this listener.
All right.
Because he arrived at this conclusion by himself.
Well, let's stop fucking blue balling the listeners. Go ahead. Put what he said.
Right. Yeah. This is the greatest comment that we've ever had on this show. And I don't think I've ever seen a comment.
We'll be back in 25 minutes.
Bruno here, our super fan, Bruno, great friend of the show. He says, it's like she's trying to bring you down to her level.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly. You're right. I did say this shit. That's exactly right, Bruno. And she has to work. She has to work on you to convince you of that. Because she don't want to lose you, because she knows you are several notches above what she should be with. So she's going to convince you through words and sexual acts and steady convincing you that you are lucky to be with her and not these other chicks, because they're going to give you a hard time, but she's going to suck you right, fuck you right, but she's still going to pull female fuckery on you.
Well, and guys, when you get in a relationship with a 49er, they got you on what? Sex.
Yep.
They got you on, and usually the 49ers will do freaky deaky shit too.
Yes.
Usually 49ers are very good in bed. Okay? Because this is how they've had to survive. This is how they've had to operate in the dating world, right?
Well, they watch a lot of porn because they ain't getting a lot of ass. So
right.
They had to okay, what I got to do, because I was a virgin, because all women, all women were virgins at one point, right? So they all wasn't out here rocking your fucking world. They had to be better at this shit. They had to figure it out. Sometimes I make jokes, like if I'm fucking with a chick for a while and she's been doing something right, I was like, I got to shout out to your ex-man. He raised a good one. Shit. I know he mad right now. You know what I'm saying? But and that's the thing, man. Women like to take credit for shit that somebody else taught them, because they always need men as a reference point. And even if that man sucks, there's a reference point for them where they say, well, you know what? I want more out of a man than that. And if he's really good, they're going to be like, that's what I want in my man. And even if he's a brother, father, uncle, boyfriend, whatever, they are using men as reference points to judge you, the next guy that's on their list.
Well, and then a deeper dive into that is they'll usually judge you against guys they can't get themselves. Especially if they're a 49er. Now, one of the things I want to warn you about, guys, is the 49er got you with sex. As Anthony's pointed out earlier in this podcast, they're not going to fuck around when it comes to sex. And that's going to make them more attractive to you. You're like, man, I've been tired of entertaining these hoes. Man, I just want some fucking sex. Jesus, man, I just want some sex like today. They're good for that. You get in a relationship with these bitches, though, let me tell you, they got you with sex.
Yeah.
So now they're going to keep you by throttling the sex.
Yep.
Throttling some. You get some now, I'm going to hit the brakes. All right, I'm going to throttle a little bit more, I'm going to hit the brakes. Throttle a little bit more, I hit the brakes. When we talk about throttling on this show, guys, I want you to think about flying an aircraft, specifically a jet.
How many people know how to fly a jet?
Well, it's and you don't have to know how to fly a jet, but everyone knows that jets don't have brakes. So the way that you slow down in a jet is you release the throttle. It's the only thing you can do. As a matter of fact, a good friend, a retired lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, told me when they were teaching pilots to fly, Anthony, they would put them on a runway and give them all 10-speed bikes with no brakes on them and have them ride in formation. So the way that you stayed in formation is you knew when to throttle, you knew when to not throttle, which would be pedaling the bicycle, of course. But that's what we mean on this program, guys. Like when you're flying a jet, you got to know when to throttle to go forward, and then you got to lean off the throttle to slow down. And that's what these women are going to do to you with sex. And they're going to control you because now you're monogamous. Now you're not allowed to go have sex with other women. And let me tell you, 49ers, if you do have sex with another woman, this is the greatest day of their life because they got you on guilt forever now.
I'm going to tell you.
They ain't going to let you break up with them. Mm-mm.
No, and that's
better not have a kid with them.
I'm going to tell you right now. If you make this decision to have sex outside of a 49er, tell her. I know it sounds stupid, guys. Tell her. Don't let her find out. Tell her, and tell her that, listen, I don't know what, and it always depends on what you've done as far as where have you been with her, how far you progressed with her. But tell her, and then say, you know, we need to get another 49 in here. and the thing is, man, they're so fucking jealous, these 49ers, that they won't be able to handle this shit, because any little thing that this bitch is better than her in, she's gonna have a whole problem with, man. But that's a way to control that bitch from going fucking crazy on you.
But what you just did was the ultimate hypothetical, though.
I know.
Because red pill guys are not going to be in relationships with 49ers.
You shouldn't, but I'm saying if you fucked up and we were in this situation now and you didn't take the fucking ultimate dumbass move and married this bitch.
Ooh. Of course he married her. She's not pretty, but she's got her master's degree, Anthony. That's what a real quality woman is.
She got her own house. She got her own car. She pays her own bills, Anthony. That's that's way better than these Tatianas out there. Congratulations, bitch. Consider yourself an adult.
Yeah, consider yourself an adult. Welcome to the real world. Men have been doing this for centuries.
But does that make you a good woman? Hell, fuck no. You're a fucking adult. That's it. That's all you have graduated to. You are what do they call this? A person in society who's, what they call this shit? And I'm getting a blank right now. But
who is it? A person in society that what?
She's working. She's not going to jail. She's abiding by rules.
Oh, she's a word, bitch! You're a citizen,
right? She's
an upstanding member of society.
She's contributing to society, right? And she's paying her bills on time, and she ain't got no kids, possibly. But she want them. She want them, and she want them from you, because you fell for this 49er trick, and she's definitely wanting you to go in raw.
Where does the 7-Eleven come in, Anthony? Because I think our listeners can probably contextually know that a 7-Eleven is a 7 that thinks she's an 11.
Man, you know why I hate this bitch? Creature. You know why I hate this 7-Eleven bitch, though? Because
they're expensive. They're super expensive, right? That's like the one common denominator.
Not only that, man. That's annoying. I can control that, though. I can typically control that shit.
Yeah, just don't give her your debit card.
No, I don't give her access. Like, I keep that bitch a lot of times away from me. The 7-Eleven, though, is...
Do you remember the 7-Eleven you dated?
Why are you bringing this bitch up?
Because it's a good example. I mean, because she was related to someone that was dating an NFL player.
Yeah.
Who was it? Was it Kareem Jackson?
Yeah, Kareem Jackson.
Oh, shit. We just outed this bitch. Wow, I did not mean to do that.
You sure did. Like, goddamn.
Sorry, Kareem.
Well, you ain't a Houston Texan no more, so fuck you, Kareem. Yeah. You and your sister-in-law. But
no, I don't know. Man. Was she a 7-Eleven or was she the 49er? Oh, she was acting out of her range either way. I think I would, because she was a cutie. Yeah, I was about to say she was actually attractive, but she was not below average. So this would be a 7-Eleven.
She was using her sister's marriage situation to be like you know how you're around somebody that you know that is famous, that she didn't know him, but she knew him by marriage. So let's say Wesley knows somebody that's famous, and I'm like, I got the clout because I know Wesley, because Wesley knows this person. Now I'm like, well, I'm special because what my friend Wesley knows Elvis. So Elvis, me and Elvis is like, we've been down since, like, 4-flat tires since 76.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, well, 76 he wasn't alive. But
Actually, he died in 77.
okay, cool. He was not.
I know that because he died the year I was born.
All right, cool. But you know what I'm getting at. Like, I'm trying to use my relationship with Wesley to up my own status. That doesn't make sense
hold on.
at all.
Tell the story, though, because I want to do the analytical dive, but tell the story specifically of, like, when you stopped dating her. By the way, for our listeners, I met this gal. Very nice girl to hang out with. Very cute. I was with you and this girl, and I enjoyed myself. I thought she had a great personality.
Yeah.
But let our listeners know what happened, why you stopped dating her. This is a funny story to me, because we hear about shit like this, but this actually happened to you.
We went out. We went out several times already.
How many dates would you think? 3, 4?
4, I think.
Okay. Did she do what she's supposed to do on the third date?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good. So everything's going good. No problem.
We go out and you remember Jacoby Jones,
Of course.
Houston Texans wide receiver.
Almost MVP of the Super Bowl when he played for the Ravens.
Yeah, he coaches in the city at a high school, all that shit, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's at the bar that we go to, and we're sitting down, trying to have drinks, whatever. I'm a little perturbed with her, and I don't remember why, but I was. Maybe she was late or something. And because I hate that shit. I hate fucking women who are late to dates. To me, it's just a fucking disrespectful move, in my opinion. Like, we talked about this before. You can get to work on time. You can get to other places on time, and you can don't fucking treat people that you say you care about or want to know better and that you could potentially care about, and treat them less important than what you hold important in life, right? Anyway, but I was not feeling her in the moment, but she was having this conversation with Jacoby Jones. Cool, whatever, what the fuck. But she kept having this conversation and kept having this conversation. And I was like, I'm going to go take a leak. You know what I'm saying? Come back, because I was going to order another drink, but I was like, no, I don't know yet. I go in the bathroom, I'm pissing, and I'm thinking, and I'm pissing, and I'm thinking. And I'm like, I'm getting more pissed off that this bitch is ignoring me for another dude.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who he is.
Was he paying for the drinks?
No.
I didn't think so.
So I'm like, I'm getting more pissed off, and I'm like, you know what? This bitch won't even know if I leave right now, will she? So that's what I did. I fucking left.
I didn't even know this story.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't tell you that.
Oh, no, I didn't even know this story.
I fucking left, man.
But she must just think like, oh, my sister dates an NFL player. I just, like you said, I've got all this clout. I was referencing whenever she was like, hey, what's up with like
gifts and flowers and shit? Oh, yeah. Fuck that shit.
What's up with these gifts, though? She brought that up to you. Now, how did she say
that was
this
the
again,
third
Anthony?
date, yeah.
That was the third date? She was
that
like,
was the third date.
What's up with them gifts, though?
I can't remember exactly how she brought it up, but I think we were making out at her car, and she was like, yeah, typically I wouldn't
Didn't she take your hat or something?
Yeah, she took my Houston Astros championship hat.
Gotcha.
I just bought the hat, and at the time it was the gold World Series.
I own the same hat. It's gorgeous. It's
And
not something I want to give away.
Right. So she took my hat, and at the time I was feeling this chick, so I wasn't really tripping like I wasn't going to see her again, right? I'm like, you want to borrow my shit and make you feel comfortable that you own something that I own, or you're borrowing something that I own. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you're in seduction mode.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, let's be playful.
But she was like, yeah, typically, guys will bring me flowers or candy or gifts. Like, what's up with that? Like, you don't. And I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? I'm like, I'm laughing because I'm like, that's goofy.
Yeah,
and
you're in seduction mode. You're like, playful, funny.
Yeah.
Ha
that's some good shit. But she was like, no, seriously, well, I don't. Where are my gifts? Like, I took a step back, you know, to look at her up and down, and like, bitch, are you serious? Like,
she's like, I'm dead serious.
She's like, no, like I wanted, like I was supposed to fucking go leave, or you know what, babe, you got me. It's in my car waiting on you to ask for me to give it to you. This bitch is crazy. At this point in time, I'm getting turned off at this point because now I'm like, do I still want to waste time with her? Because meanwhile, I'm still dating other chicks. You know what I mean? So
well, let me tell you, Anthony. Had you not had your rotation going, this was your only source of pussy, you would have gotten into video game mode.
If
right?
I wasn't
need vagina, physical need for vagina, need gifts to get vagina, get gifts for vagina, get gifts for vagina, get.
We don't do this enough on this show. We don't talk about how did we get where we are mentally to be able to shut shit down like this, because I've been able to restart my roster over and over again. I'm not fucking, losing my mind for losing a bitch. Like, even if she was the only one I was talking to, why would I lose my fucking mind behind somebody who's demanding shit from me that she has not earned yet?
Yeah, and then where do you go from there? If you're just getting gifts while you're dating, what happens when you're married?
Well, but this is the thing. She's watching her sister, who's married to an NFL player, get shit.
Because these are nickels and dimes to him. Right. These are just pennies. Pennies in the bucket. Oh, you want a Louis Vuitton purse? I make so much fucking money. That'd be like me buying a beanie baby for my daughter at the grocery store. Buying a Louis Vuitton purse for a bitch. Now, that doesn't mean he should do it. Because it fucks shit up. It fucks that woman up.
Well,
that's another topic. Yeah. I mean,
but yes, man, her being a good communicator, a good time to hang out with, a nice plate to have around. But
she turned you off.
She turned me completely off with this shit. And the last date I went on was kind of like I'm gonna give you a chance to recover date. And you fucked
and that's when the Jacoby Jones.
That's when the Jacoby Jones happened. And I was like, fuck this bitch. And she called me. What happened to you? Where are you? I'm like, bitch, I'm almost home, and you just now realizing that I'm fucking gone? Fuck you.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I was done with that bitch, man.
Yeah.
I am a keen cutoff for a fucking reason, man. I don't tolerate disrespect on any level. And when I realize that I feel that it's disrespect, I don't fuck with it, man. And if you still want to fuck with me, you got a lot of fucking making up to do. And as AMS says, that's a whole lot of dick you got to suck.
Yep. And you hit something that let's hit this for a second. I mean, we could do an entire segment over this, but something you just mentioned, you were like, we don't talk about on this program enough. Why we were able to change our mindset. And I think it boils down to one thing, right? It boils down to two major things, rather. The first one is we have learned over time, over dating a lot of women are not that impressive as we fantasize that they are. It was super, super easy for me to recognize my wife was a unicorn, not just a unicorn in the world, but a unicorn for me.
Yeah.
How I live my life.
Right.
Because she was different than everything else I was dating.
The thing is they stand out, especially This is why you got to date multiple women, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
When you date multiple women, they all start to look the same. So when that one does show up, you're going to be like, God damn, this one is different. This one stands out. This one she does it without you asking. She does it without you fucking trying to guide her to it. Like, this is naturally who she is. And you're like, wow, I can fucking live with. This I can fucking take to another level.
Yeah.
And this bitch will even be even better.
Yeah.
So when you do meet that one, she definitely stands out versus all the other ones you with. That's why I even say, don't worry about how this bitch look. Don't worry about her being a perfect bitch where you can just jump online and say, hey guys, I got me a 9, I got me a 10, blah, 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 blah. Fuck all that.
Because you'll date those girls anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying date any fucking bitch that gives you high interest so you can help yourself see what it's like to experience different women. This is very, very important for you to develop in your journey to be a better you. It's not about them, guys. It's about you. So you're just using the experience. I'm not saying, like, find a bitch and fuck her over. That's what I'm telling you. I'm saying just experience different women. And that way, when you do find the one, you know that's the fucking, not the oneness, but the one that actually fits your life the best. She'll stand out completely for you, and it won't be hard to figure it out either.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to tell you guys. When you have a good catalog of dating women, and these are the two things. This is why Anthony and I were able to arrive at our mindset. Two things. We found out women are not that impressive, which is why it's super, super easy to find out to find the ones that are impressive. Once you date enough girls, it's going to be like super, super easy. The other reason, because there's two main reasons why we arrived at this mindset. The other reason is, guys, a whole lot of pain. A whole lot of pain. A whole lot of pain. And that's what our show is about, isn't it, Anthony? We're trying to help you guys skip that part. We're trying to help you skip that part. We're trying to appeal to your rational brain when we give you a deep dive on 49ers, or we tell you what to look for with 7-Elevens and things like that. We'd like you to avoid this pain. Because, guys, it's like grabbing pliers and pulling your fingernails backwards. Fucking emotional pain. Anthony, you brought this up a second ago, talking about what bitches look like. It's like, don't worry about what they look like, because you're going to date hot bitches, you're going to date hotter bitches, you're going to date less hotter bitches.
Yep.
Specifically to that, though, guys, in this vein of seeing that women aren't that impressive, I'll just give you a good example. There's two different kinds of dimes. If we talk about dime women, right? There's two different kinds. And we talked about this on the Bourbon podcast. Remember when we compared women to bourbon? And we talked about dimes. There's two kind of different dimes, guys. And you'll find out which one they are right away. There's the ones that are just like physical anomalies. And I brought up, if you guys have watched that movie, Joe Dirt, if you've seen that movie, this actress, Jamie Presley, she always gets typecast as like this redneck
MILF.
Or when she was younger, she was just a redneck hot bitch. But you could tell that's not a bitch you want to be in a relationship with. She's, for lack of a better term, and we're talking about fiction anyways. I'm sure she's a nice person in real life. But the characters she played were trash, right? But she was like this physical anomaly of like a farmer's daughter who just, holy shit, that bitch is beautiful, but has no class, doesn't know how to treat a man, doesn't want to cook. That's how it manifests itself in real life, guys. We're not talking specifically about the farmer's daughter. But in real life, when you have the bitch that always wants to take photos of herself, she grew up in a one-parent family or maybe grew up with her grandparents, has daddy issues and things like that. You can tell this dime really, really quickly. She's just this physical anomaly. Then there's the dime that comes from a good family.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you guys, the dime that comes from a good family has a great relationship with their parents, and especially your dad. That's what you want to look for. Dude, these women are much easier to mac on and talk to and, of course, be in relationships with than 49ers or 7-Elevens.
What Larry said, Larry Cheek in our group always like to say when he meet a chick, like, how's your father?
I've never seen him say that. That is a damn good. Like,
I love it.
She doesn't know what you're doing.
No, I love it. I love it, man. And
It's such a great test, isn't it?
yes,
Because if they had a bad relationship with their father, man, it's usually not good news. It's usually not good news. They don't trust men. If they don't trust men, they're not faithful to men. If they just like don't trust men,
that daddy issues is definitely something we'll need to talk about in the future.
that's
podcast.
a deep dive there, isn't it?
Yes.
That is a very, very deep dive. But as Anthony was saying, we don't talk about enough on this program why we were able to become this way. And it's because you're going to find out, guys, women are really not that impressive. They're really not.
Well,
Except the ones that are.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Think about your mindset in the blue pill mindset, right? Mm-hmm. You're always putting this bitch on the pedestal.
Oh, woman worship, isn't it?
Always. Even in your approach, when you're going to talk to her, you want to tell her, you're the most beautiful woman I've seen in my entire life, and I can't believe I'm in your presence. I just hope that you are willing to go out on a date with me and just say yes.
Well, let's use a real example. What do you think? I bet that gal that you were talking about, the 7-Eleven, I bet she's used that line on other men before.
What's that? Oh, the gift shit?
The gift shit?
Hell yeah. Because she's trying to set a precedence that you should be giving her a gift next time you see her. Did I give this bitch?
I mean, I gave you sex, Anthony. I mean, come on.
Yeah. It's always some exchange, right?
Yeah.
And but they ain't hoes. They ain't prostitutes out here. But they still want you to put some money down. Patrice O'Neal said something, man. He was saying how women like to say that they ain't hoes, right? That they're not prostitutes, that money ain't everything, but all these dinners that they want you to go to, all these trips they want to go to, all this shit is just down payments. Because they want money from you. It may come indirectly, but it is resources that they're trying to extract from you. And it is something they don't have to do.
We have toyed with this issue of should we say never go out to eat on our first date?
Never.
I mean, we've toyed with that, right?
I don't do it. I've had plenty of first dates, guys. You don't have to do it. If that bitch get hungry, all right, well, it's time for me to go anyway. I got to get ready for work. Have a good night. Get the fuck out of there. If you like her, if you really into her like that, say, hey, next time it's on me. I'll talk to you later. But you don't have to treat her to dinner, man.
That's kind of like what we were saying in the beginning of the podcast, right? Where it was like, these guys come in with these expectations of how shitty this is going to be. You know, like, well, this is just how women are. My favorite one. You know the two most important words to make a marriage last? Yes, dear. So you're setting. I mean, they're saying it jovially.
Well,
but they're kind of serious, aren't they?
Yeah. Put yourself on the back burner. You don't matter. She does.
I mean, I never have to do that in my marriage. But it's not because my wife is somebody special. It's because I make sure to manage what my life looks like. That doesn't mean she's an asshole or I'm an asshole or I mean, Anthony, this is what people I think don't understand. They're like, all right, I buy what Wesley's saying. I do. I buy what he's saying. This is how he lives his life. He finally convinced me. But goddamn, man, being his wife, it must be like living with a drill sergeant. You see my wife and I, our exchange. Is that what it's like?
I've never seen you in any relationship where that would be true.
Well, yeah, but I've only been red pill for one. But do you see a huge difference in like the way I am around this chick versus my blue pill days?
I've seen you red pill in their last relationship before you met your wife.
Oh, well, that was towards the end, and that was not going well.
No, well, you well, this is you learning that you can't deviate from being red pill if that's what you're choosing to do.
Yeah.
I want to touch on that a little bit. Guys, you can't have your foot in blue pill and red pill at the same time and think you're going to be successful.
Well,
you
Anthony,
just can't do
hold
it.
on a second. I've got a good argument. I mean, the red pill's on this side and the blue pill's on this side. Somewhere in the middle is probably the truth, right?
No. No.
Don't fucking fall for this dumb shit, guys.
No, you're going to confuse yourself and the woman you're with.
Right? You're going to confuse yourself and the woman you're with. It would be like being red pill and blue pill with your dog. Like one day you're like super strict. Like, sit, roll over. All right, cool. Here go a treat. And then the next day, you just come and dump the bag of treats on the ground and just let them have them all for no reason. The dog's going to be fucking confused. Like, oh, shit.
What the fuck I do to do that?
Oh,
no. I guess I got to sit and roll all night.
The dog thinks that sitting on the couch is a trick now.
Hell
like,
no.
goddamn, just sitting on the couch. Fucking, it pours the whole bag out for me. No, man, you can't have your feet in both waters.
What would you do? What does a dog do when you come in and just give them treats anytime it wants it?
It expects it.
Mm-hmm. Right? So don't give me your emails about women or dogs and shit. You've
got to be able to understand analogies, ladies, because
Yes.
I know no man's going to send us that email.
Right.
No man's going to send us the email of, hey, what are you trying to say? All women are dogs? I'm sorry. There are men that would do that.
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah, all right.
There are male feminists in this world.
But what I'm saying is you cannot play both worlds and think that you're going to have success on the red side. You're going to have failures on the blue side. That's what you're going to get. So you can't play both ends thinking that you can blend this shit. I know there's some purple pill believers out there. But I think you have to understand what you are and who you are, because either you're going to have this lifestyle or you're not. You can't be both, I think. That's just me. And maybe you can. I know I can't. I know for myself I can't. And when I've had my blue pill relapses, I quickly found out I didn't want that life. Quickly. Because
Could you tell them about a relapse that you had? Because I'm sure it was a specific behavior, right?
Yes.
Oh, man, I remember one. I remember a story you told me, if you can't think of one.
Which one?
When a girl told you to get up and cook for her.
Oh, fuck that bitch. Yeah.
No, that was kind of a mind freak because
it was
you
right.
you love cooking.
Yes.
So you're like, man, I love cooking.
Well,
yeah, I've got some food in there I've been wanting to cook.
Oh my God, I might have to do a podcast on this. This is one of those things where you fucking the woman manipulates you because she's using something for you that you would do anyway. Mm-hmm. But she's making it as if you're doing it for her only. Now, what I mean by that is I do love to cook. That's something I like to do. But that's something that I would choose to do. You can't request it and expect it just because you requested it, right? It's still something I have to decide that I'm going to actually do. Now, because I enjoy it, doesn't mean I always enjoy it, right? Sometimes I don't feel like fucking cooking. But because someone may feel that they have any type of leverage over you because of what they did or said or the position that they're in your life at the moment, they feel like they can manipulate you to do something that you don't want to do or that you're not doing in the moment, and see if they have anything, all it takes is a speck of an opportunity to think that they have any kind of a rule over you. And asking me to do something that I like to do anyway, or I might have done anyway, it was something inside of me that made me feel like, I'll do it, but something just don't feel right about it. So I did it, fucking cooked breakfast. What the fuck? I mean, we just had like a nice fucking session in the bed, right? Mm-hmm. So reward a bitch for doing a good job, right? So that's what I was like. I was like, don't overthink this shit. Just it's breakfast. That's all. Shit.
You know what? I won't get caught speeding.
We all got to eat in this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? But you let her come out of pocket.
I let her do it, and it immediately had bad fucking consequences. And because when you give a woman an inch, she take a mile. Because now you gave her space to work in. And now she needs to see how far can she go with this? Like, how much credit did she accumulate? Right? It's like, wait, bitch, what's going on again? Like, no, I'm not going to be able to do this. The conversation changed, her tone changed. She wasn't all sweet and shit, and it was like, what the fuck happened? Oh, okay. And I immediately went back to that. I said that was the gut reaction I had that made me realize, like, I shouldn't do it. I should not have done it. I should have made an excuse to not do it because I felt this gut in my stomach that this was not a good thing to do. I was recently listening to a Patrice O'Neal video, and he had a better example too, where the girl he was with asked him, what side of the bed do you want to sleep on? And he was like, yeah, I like to sleep on that side, but why the fuck you asking me that?
But then
I just wanna
I won't be able to see the TV.
No, she doubles down on, I just wanted to ask you what you like to sleep. He was like, oh, okay, I like to sleep on the right side, right there. But then I wouldn't be able to see the TV from that side. And he was like, well, why the fuck you ask me? This bitch is pretending to care about what you want, but in actuality, it's about her. And this is the thing of what we talk about 49ers and even 7-Elevens. When they ask you to do something, it is not for your fucking benefit. It's for theirs. So be mindful of that. That shit exists. Now, this is a woman thing. We understand this. We know this shit exists. Just be mindful of it. So when you recognize it, the shit that you do for somebody that you care about, that's what you choose to do. But you control it. Don't let them control you. That's the point I'm trying to make about it. You say, hey, when she started doing all this, well, you used to do this. Yeah, because I chose to do it for you. Not because you've got this fucking ruling hand over me. I don't owe you shit. We're both in a fucking relationship. And I don't have to do shit that I don't choose to do for you.
What's crazy is Anthony is admitting that he had a blue pill moment because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, but I think what you're trying to say is you had a moment where you forgot that women are constantly playing verbal chess.
Yes.
I'm going to give you an example, guys. When men talk, we talk because we mean what the fuck we're saying. That's why loyalty and honesty is way more important to men. We can't have a society without a certain level of honesty, with a certain level of morality to saying what you mean and what you think about things. I'll give you an example. When a man says, I'm cold, what does that mean, Anthony?
He's fucking cold.
He's cold. That's what he means. When a woman says, I'm cold, This could mean a lot of different shit. The one that really jumps out at me is she says, I'm cold, and you're like, oh, man, it is cold outside. Later on Facebook after the date.
This motherfucker let me freeze.
Angry keyboard. So I'm on a first date with a guy, and I tell him I'm cold, and he doesn't even offer his jacket to me.
Right.
And I was always in Canada. I mean, where are all the gentlemen at, guys?
Right.
I mean, where are all the real men at? And the girls going to give me his jacket. That's what women are doing. They're constantly verbally sparring you. You have to be aware of this, guys. You can never truly be red pill. I'm going to repeat this. You can never truly be red pill until you understand that women are constantly verbally testing you. They have sat down for years, guys. Remember when we were little boys and we would wrestle or we would play physical games like tag or hide and go seek or dodgeball or Foursquare, or we were always doing this fucking physical shit, which is why we're physically, typically, I'm not talking about, there's women athletes that are amazing, but the women that are not athletes, they're just not good at physical shit. You go, like I did MMA, and when you see a woman punch and kick for the first time, you're like, Jesus, motherfucker. It's just like they kind of toss their hand out and throw their body back. They just kind of like slap their leg up at the bag. I mean, I was watching this show on Netflix, Kingdom, and this actress on there that's supposed to be an MMA fighter. I'm like, this is the worst looking shit I've ever seen. Just because you can tell she's never been an athlete. She may have worked out at the gym, but she's never played a sport. You know what I'm saying? While men were all doing that, women were sitting around playing these fucking mind games with each other, trying to figure out how to verbally spar down each other.
Yeah, that's what they're good at.
Yeah, and they've got some atom bombs in there too. What this podcast, the atom bomb that would be thrown on this podcast, Wesley, Anthony, you're just a bunch of male chauvinists. Because when they say that with other men, what happens? Those men, they rush to defend themselves.
Right.
We don't give a fuck what you think about us on this show, bitches. But you will be held to a certain standard over on this show. Oh, that's brand new to these bitches, isn't it, Anthony? That's brand new, isn't it? And it's like, guys, while you were out doing physical shit, these bitches were learning how to verbally spar with each other. With each other. And guys, you have to, and when Anthony talks about, I had a blue pill moment. Anthony, I think what you were trying to say, you forgot that shit for just a second because you just had some good sex with this bitch.
Well, it was more than that. Like, we had a good night. We had a good day. It was, it was the end of a day. I was exhausted and shit. So I had a lapse. And this can happen, guys. This is why if you can get caught up in a moment, right? Like there are moments where women kind of know how to be women and they're good at it and being a woman when they are in that moment, but they also have a manipulative side. And sometimes it's to their benefit, sometimes it's for their survival, right? They're trying to figure out if you're the winning guy. Like, they're looking for a winner, and they need to see if you are still able to win when they throw out these things. So if I lost, if I gave in because she wanted to see if I would just do what she wanted, then she needs to see if I'm a pushover, right? So I had to stand my ground. The next time this shit popped up, and it was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what do you think this is? You think I'm a fucking restaurant? Like, you think I just do as you ask because you walked in the fucking door and wanted me to do something for you? That's not how this shit works.
Nope. Now, the reason that we bring up this topic about verbal chess, I don't think anybody plays verbal chess quite like the 7-Elevens. And the 7-Elevens, and guys, when you get feelings for a bitch, she will sometimes raise a number on the 1 to 10 scale.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah, that bitch has the audacity to believe she's off the fucking charts.
Yeah. she believes it's only a scale of 1 to 10, and she thinks she's one above the chart. She feels like they just didn't make the chart big enough for her because she's special.
Right.
These bitches, and like, if she starts out as a 7 and then you fall in love with her, you'll look at her like she's an 8. When a man has feelings for a woman, she'll become more physically attractive.
Facts.
Than she really, really is in real life. Facts, of course, because that one that we were talking about earlier, the last relationship I was in before I was married.
Yeah.
I just look at photos of that chick now, you know. I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? Boy, I was lost in the sauce. That terrible chin and that terrible nose. It's the 7-Elevens. They will operate at a very, very high level of verbal chess, very high level, and because they're attractive, you will be dancing around from lily pad to lily pad because that sex is way more valuable to you than having sex with a 49er. Usually, the 7-Elevens I find, and jump in here, Anthony, the 7-Elevens I find are not as IQ-wise, they're not as intelligent. They don't know all the answers to, you like your Garrett Harden, your James Harden shoes. Well, you know that was little children in India made those shoes. Like, the 7-Elevens don't know shit about the world.
Yeah, the better they look, the less impressive they have to be. Like,
right.
They can get away with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? So, again, they do have the verbal words to make you, to convince you that they're 11, and a lot of times they'll hang around these fucking 4s and 5s, and to prove to you that hey, you see I'm better than this bitch, right? Like, they'll laugh with you, like, you see that bitch like that? I can't believe she thinks that she's...
The audacity.
Right. So, you gotta understand, though, like, from her perspective, there's so many guys that are approaching her because she's not exactly a 9 and a 10, right? She's not almost like the untouchable, unattainable bourbon behind the glass bitch, right?
Yeah.
So you was like, I can actually put my hands on a fucking 7-Eleven, right?
Yep.
You know, I can look at the bottle and hold it in my hand and see how it feels, and I can experience it without having to purchase it. So this is attainable for me.
This is a Ford Mustang GT.
Right. You know,
I may never own a McLaren, but I could probably own a Ford Mustang GT.
Yeah.
And it's almost as fast. Right.
You convince yourself that this is definitely something that I could work with. And typically you can. The thing is, though, this is dangerous for you in the blue pill world.
Ooh, they are. They're not as dangerous as the 49ers because the 49ers will always fucking try to have your kids with you. And then you'll be attached to them for life. But that doesn't mean they're not dangerous.
7-Elevens will, too. If they got a guy that's on the level, they don't have a problem having your fucking baby.
Yeah. The next dude's going to pay for it anyway.
Yeah.
So.
They don't have no qualms, man. I saw a video, women discussing this shit about, is it fair that men are forced to be fathers when women aren't forced to be mothers when it comes to abortions?
I bet that wasn't a popular question on that panel.
Well, a couple of women were against it, and a couple of women was actually for it, right?
What does Dave Chappelle say? My money, my choice. You can have a baby all you want, but don't expect me to pay for it. My money, my choice. Right?
There's no and I love the question about that.
Sorry, in the live stream, Anthony, Bruno said Bruno said, he said, "Hey man, you got to be careful for the base model Mustangs with the GT badges on them, aka 49ers. Y'all better look under that hood before you buy it.
For sure.
You better look under that."
Bitch, you ever now you gotta ask bitches this, man. You know how they always saying you gotta ask a guy if he's single. Bitch, have you ever had surgery, bitch? Like, have you ever been under the knife, bitch?
Knife?
Have you ever been under the
Oh my god, that's
Have
funny.
you ever had implants? You know what I'm saying? Have you had any injections? Like these
just asking questions.
I'm out here trying to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Like COVID-19, you know what I'm saying? It changed the whole world out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, anytime a bitch get offended now, just say, "Hey man, COVID-19 and shit, I gotta be
safe.
I gotta be safe out here."
Why don't we move on to the next segment? Because we it's broken up into quite a few pieces, right?
Yes.
We have a whole bunch of questions from the listeners this week. I wanted to make sure we had enough time because I'm really, really excited about this segment. Anthony, you went into our Facebook group, and if you guys cannot find our Facebook group, just drop us an email, redpillphonetap@gmail.com. That's redpillphonetap@gmail.com. And if you can't find it, don't worry. Just send us an email. We'll invite you into the group. We don't really have any standards in this private group other than everybody play nicely.
Yeah.
Please. I think we only censor. I think we cut it off with threats of physical violence. Threats of physical violence is where we will begin censoring. You can't threaten anybody physically, but we have one of our beloved members putting all kinds of conspiracy theories about COVID-19 up that we don't take down. We do not censor anything in this group. We take a lot of pride in it. And, of course, you can see the podcast 2 days early when we live stream if you join the group. Let's get right into this, though. We do have some topics that people want to get into. John Miller, we did a whole segment over his question about 49ers.
Damn near 2 segments.
Yeah, damn near 2 segments. I hope you know how we feel about that. This was a good one, too. So Stuart writes, "Hey, Anthony, potential subject dealing with an awkward ex-partner you've got a kid with. Looking forward to the show." Without painfully going into this, Anthony, let's talk more in the way. Let's leave the horrific stories that you've experienced out of this.
Please.
Let's talk about solutions.
Okay.
There really are none, are there?
Well, you share a kid, right? So, the solution to just X this bitch out of your life is impossible. That's what I would suggest if we're talking about solutions. But with the kid, definitely throws a wrench into that. So, I would still remain red pill and still make this bitch elevate herself to deal with me when it comes to conversation. You still don't take shit off her, even though you share a kid with her. And when she goes to that bullshit talk, say, "Listen, I don't deal with this type of conversation. I don't communicate this way. I know you are probably used to being able to do that with me before, but I no longer deal with these type of conversations." When you're calm and you're able to talk more like an adult calmly, then we'll pick this back up. But I'm gonna hang up the phone now, or I'm gonna leave now if you're talking to her face to face and she's trying to pull that shit. So,
can I tell you why you're right? I want to drive home how right you are about that. I had a good friend quit a company this week. I'm sorry, 2 weeks ago. But timeline doesn't matter. He's actually in our Red Pill Phone Tap Facebook group. He quit, and they were treating him very, very badly. He works a sales job for them. He's number 1 in sales numbers in the region. And he didn't turn in a report on time once. And they put him on this monster aggressive, like, disciplinary plan where he had to come in and meet with the regional sales manager once a week. And all of a sudden, the regional sales manager started giving him very robotic answers to the questions he was asking. And I've known this guy a while. He's very much a guy's guy. So he would try to get with him on a guy level and be like, so, hey, man, like, am I good? Like, if we go through this, like, am I good? Well, AutoZone has you on this performance plan because you need to improve your performance. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Like, those kind of answers, like, just very robotic. You know that's the beginning of the end.
Right.
When that shit starts going down at your company. And he's going through this, and then I guess that wasn't enough punishment to make him leave. And so then they took away his busiest store that he was making, his numbers out of. They put him in a different store, still was number one in the region. Brought another store up. They thought they were going to tank him. That wasn't good enough. Then they had to expand his region to where on certain days, he would have a 3-hour drive time. Back and forth. He had to drive an hour and a half out, an hour and a half back. Does that mean they were going to let him off early to drive an hour and a half? No. He has 2 children. They were really fucking him over, Anthony. I mean, if there was ever any time where someone could walk in, he's the number one fucking sales guy. They're trying to purposely make him fail, right? If there was ever a time where someone could stomp into the office and be like, take this job and shove it, this would be the time. And so I asked him, what was it like when you quit? Like, I wanted to hear like the quit story. Like, all right, let's get to the quit story. I want to hear, did you slam down the laptop and it broke and because they were treating this dude like shit. And he says, no, man, I Googled a standard resignation letter, and I just copied and pasted, put the appropriate company names and job names and supervisor names in there. And he's like, and I just gave it to him, and I was like, wow, that was big of you. And he goes, yeah, but I hate their guts still, but if I'd have done like some kind of dramatic leave, then they got to be right about me.
Right.
And when you're dealing with your exes, when it comes to kid shit, they're already coming in with like, this dude's a piece of shit. And then when you fucking act out, no matter if it's you've earned it or not, they get to be right about you in that moment, don't they?
Yeah. Well, they'll always, that's what I'm saying, man. Women use men as a reference point. And when you can be bigger than their bullshit, they don't know where to go to after that.
Wow. I'm going to repeat that for our listeners. This is very important. When you can be bigger than a woman's bullshit, they really have nowhere to go after that. Not to oversimplify, but that's a real simple thing that our listeners can take with them today and deal with the rest of their life like that, can't they?
Oh, yeah. It's easy to fall into the emotions of a bitch.
100%.
When she's throwing slanderous shit at you and accusing you of shit you didn't do or say.
They know your deepest, darkest secrets. They know how you live your daily life. They know all your flaws.
Yeah, they know how to penetrate your skin for sure. And when you allow it to drive you into a direction that you wouldn't normally do, like if you feel bad afterwards, then you let her get to you.
Yep.
And that is what actually makes you less attractive.
Yep.
And you would try to think, you want to play a pity party, like, this bitch is, driving me crazy and this and that. No, actually, you allowed her to do it. Because if you don't react to this shit and you don't check her for actually trying to put you in that position, then she thinks that she's good. Like, this is okay for her to do because you fell into it. If I lied about you, Wesley, and told you that you kick puppies and drown kittens, I've seen you do it. and I'm going to tell all our friends.
It would, yeah, the reaction would be, it would not bother me at all, because I absolutely know I've done nothing like that.
But how many times have a woman accused you of something you didn't do or say, and you let it get to you before?
Well, see, they're smarter than that, though. They
This is a very extreme.
Well, I know, but they don't go completely off the grid. They always make sure to mix some truth in there.
Well, I'm trying to say something.
They put it in a mixer glass and shake it with ice.
Well, right, you're absolutely. You know what? You're absolutely right, because they remix the story.
Right.
And then you're like, I don't remember it like
sure,
that.
Remember flipper band yet?
And then
it's sure from a nipper plan yet.
And you're like, wait, I don't remember it going down like that. Am I going fucking crazy? Like, wait. What happened? Oh shit. Now you're trying to fucking, I remember this, man. I'll go back and I'll rethink this shit, and I get accused of something, and then I'll be like, God damn, I do not remember it like that. So I'll go back and try to piece this shit back together, and I'll go back. I'm like, hey, listen, you told me that I did this and that, and I actually remember it this way. And then they're like, oh my God, are you really trying to rehash this and make this all about blaming me about this?
A woman talking about rehashing shit.
Are you literally trying to just blame me for this? Like, you had nothing to do with it? And I'm like, why act like this bitch had a smoking problem? I was like, why do we allow women to take us on this fucking roller coaster ride of falsitudes? That's our new shit.
Falsitudes.
That's gonna be a t-shirt.
That's gonna be a I was about to say, that's gonna be a t-shirt.
All these falsitudes, and being able to take us on this fucking ride, and we just say, I gotta correct this bitch and tell her what the truth was. And when in actuality, you don't even get on the fucking ride at all. And you like, hey, I don't do that shit. Like, this is not a conversation that we're going to have. It seems like you have some things that you think happened that I definitely don't agree with. But when you calm down and we can actually talk, have a back and forth. You know how women like to do when they have a thing to say and they don't want to be interrupted when they're trying to give their thing, and you're like, whoa, wait, I'm gonna finish with my. But no. Having a conversation means that I get to speak as well, and you don't get to ignore me when it's my turn, bitch.
You're not writing a letter to me, bitch.
Right. You're not performing a fucking monologue on my ass. Fuck you. You want to talk? Let's talk. So you said. And then you point shit out. Soon as you disagree with something that she said, this is having a conversation. Soon as you disagree with what she said, you say, hey, hold on. You said A, B, and C. Let's because the thing is, man, especially when it comes to accusatory shit, when you're having a conversation with a woman, and he said having an awkward woman, Stuart did. So I'm assuming that there's probably bad blood between them. And they probably didn't have a what they call reconcilable differences.
Yeah.
And you probably can't really speak to her in the way that you could regular people. So it's like, okay, well, since I can't talk to you like a regular person, let's take this one topic at a time. And that's what I would say too, man. If you ever have to just talk to a woman that's difficult to talk to, take it one topic at a time. Don't let her fucking bounce around, jumping from yesteryear and yesterday and tomorrow shit. Don't let her do that, you know. Calm that shit down and take one topic at a time, and then say, okay, we've hashed that, we've buried it, that's done with. We'll move on to the next topic if you can take another fucking topic after that conversation. And as soon as you see yourself being drained of energy, stop the conversation.
I can't think of a more unnatural human condition than co-parenting.
It's difficult, man.
Well, it's one of those things where I am so delighted not to have to talk to my exes. Like, I get a real delight just thinking about it, like right now. Like, man, I'm so glad I don't have to talk to that dumb bitch.
Oh, imagine. Ugh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a very delightful thing. And then you have a very bad relationship. There's a real healthy hatred you have for this person. And now the most important person in your life, you've got to co-parent with them with? It's about the most unnatural thing ever. You know, then you've got, I'm sure, you've got the 97%er that comes in and dates her.
Yeah.
He wants to be a white knight, and all this bitch does is lay in bed with this other dude after sex and just complain about you for hours. And this white knight just laps it up like a little kitten with milk. Just, you know, you're right, girl. He is terrible.
Well, what's the best thing for a white knight 97%er than to rescue a victim?
Right.
It's like they go to the fucking dog pound. It's like, got me a rescue dog. And it's like they get to brag about it. Like, I saved this bitch from this crazy monster guy that she's created. But the thing is, you know what those guys never ask? Or never say, but you chose him. And you chose to have a kid with him. Like, your decisions sound fucked up. If he was that bad, you sound like you make bad decisions. That question never comes from a guy that's just trying to get the pussy. Because we get one-track minded, don't we?
Yep.
It's like, man, I like this bitch. Don't matter that she's blaming this other guy for all the fucking ridicule in his life. Sometimes it's true, guys. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying that the other guy that comes into their life is like, I'm saving this hoe. Where my cape? My cape is not ironed. Where's my super cape?
Where is my super cape?
Woman, where is my super cape? I'm here to save you, bitch.
Let me ask you a question. This is really gonna fuck some white knights up. Has a bitch ever appreciated being rescued?
No. It's
That's
expected.
interesting. Do you mind repeating that for our audience, Anthony?
What? Which part?
Has a bitch ever really enjoyed being rescued by these white knights?
Nah, man.
Maybe
It's
in the
expected.
moment when on social media when it makes her right. When it makes her right.
Man, she got this story rehearsed before she even met you, bruh.
100% she does. Sorry, we're gonna get some songs here for the White Knights, Anthony. You know, the White Knights don't get enough love on this show. We're gonna.
Oh, rescue me.
The White Knights have never had a song played for them on this show before.
No.
Look, listen to Aretha Franklin just screaming out to the White Knights, right?
Man, she was attractive in her day, wasn't she?
Yeah. I think every woman singer, when they talk about a woman, whenever they talk about a woman vocalist, they either go to Whitney Houston or
Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're that iconic, right?
Yeah.
And most of you did not know Aretha had the White Knight Anthem in her song catalog, right?
No, I don't think they did.
This next question was so intriguing that I had to ask my wife, genuinely, how do you think I would react to this? And Bruno writes, I got one. I always wondered, what if your girlfriend or wife does something to her appearance and it looks horrible? For example, she comes back from her hairdresser all excited to show you her new hair, and sorry, here I show the rest of the comments. Her new hair, but she got a pink Karen haircut. How do you handle that? And I wanted you to see live, Anthony, like what my wife would start. Like, I'm like, hey, well, how do you think I would react to this? And Anthony, what Bruno doesn't know is that we're going to be going a little bit deeper on this question than maybe he expected. But let's answer it at face value first. What do you do, Anthony, if your girl comes back with a pink Karen haircut? Now, you are the guy on this show, Anthony. You're the guy on this show that answers for the dating men in the world, right? So this would be a woman for you in your rotation, right? What would happen if a girl in your rotation, and Bruno, I hope light bulbs are going off right now, because this is why you have a rotation. Exactly. This and about like 500 other reasons is why you have a healthy 5-girl rotation until you have vetted a woman that you want to be in a relationship with. Anthony, somebody in your rotation comes back with pink Karen hair. What do you do?
I'm going to refer you back to early in the podcast when we talked about throttling time.
Mm-hmm.
And bitch, when that shit grow out, then we'll talk about it. But I'm not hanging out with you.
No need to have a direct conversation about it.
Oh, I'm not. It's
all
just
of a sudden, Anthony just got busy.
Yeah, the conversation.
Man, I got to work a lot.
The conversation will because you know what happens, right? They start putting 2 and 2 together eventually, and then they'll be like, I changed my hair, and you didn't say anything about that. Oh yeah, I saw that.
Anthony, women are masters of what? Nonverbal communication, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Women are masters of nonverbal communication. This is how, if you've never heard it on the show before, this is why women have expensive handbags, expensive shoes, expensive shit that they're not buying to attract other men.
Mm-mm.
They are signaling to other women nonverbally, I'm high value. I'm good shit. My vagina is gold. Check out these shoes. Look at this handbag. I am top shelf pussy to other women.
Pause. Is it funny to you that you just said that they're doing all this shit to speak to other women, but don't understand why men aren't attracted to them?
Right.
Because you're not doing the things to attract a man by buying all this shit. That doesn't mean anything to me. When I want sex, when I'm hungry, when I want companionship, none of that shit gonna benefit me. That you own that shit, that you're able to buy that shit. None of that shit holds value to me. But yet you're wanting to know why men aren't approaching you or worried about you. Because guess what? If you're having those possessions, what you gonna want me to do? And I'm seeing it, and I'm like, nah, bitch, I ain't about to buy none of that shit from you. You high maintenance.
And by the way, guys, I don't think we talked about this enough, but when we were talking about 7-Elevens in the last segment, one of the first things that comes out of my mouth when talking about 7-Elevens, they're very expensive.
Yeah, red bottoms.
Very expensive.
They expect the world and everything in it.
Yeah.
And if you can't give them that, they want the moon and stars.
And after you buy them the shoes and the wardrobe, they're going to want the house. And after you buy them the house, they're going to want the bigger house. Then after that, they're going to want the bigger house with. Yep.
A bigger ring. It never stops.
Again,
it never fucking stops.
On a scale of 1 to 10, the 7 has put herself outside of the scale.
Yeah.
She thinks the scale needs to be bigger just because she exists. Yeah. And another thing that I want to point out is because I'm going to give you, Bruno, the relationship side of this question. And I want to point out that the Karen haircuts and the designer handbags, all this shit that women are doing to signal to other women, this is typically what they do once they're in a relationship. Because now they don't have to put out all the attractors for men. When they're single, they're just putting out all the attractors for men. They're wearing sexier clothing. They're wearing less clothing. They're doing all these things. Once they get in a relationship, like they're good, they've accomplished that goal. That's when they start doing a lot of this woman fuckery, as we call it on this program. Mm-hmm. This woman fuckery of, now I'm just going to wear shit that signals to other women that I'm high value. As Anthony just said, because this doesn't change from rotation to relationship. And guys, that's why you have to have a rotation, so that you set your life up with certain standards. When you have a rotation, it's super easy to have standards, right?
Yep.
You're not with the program. Your hair looks stupid. You're dressing dumb. I'm busy now. And the bottom line is I'm busy with the other 4 bitches. And I'm hoping you kind of get your shit together and kind of get the nonverbal cues that I'm not spending time with you, that I'm spending time with these other 4 bitches.
Yeah, because I'm not running plays for you in the offense.
Right. You're going to be 6 man. You know, you're going to be someone that don't shoot the ball. Just play defense. And hopefully, if you can get with the program and you can learn the triangle that we're running here, hopefully we can get you back in the rotation. But until then, nope. So guys, you take this same mentality into relationships and you're like, hey, listen, bitch, I signed you to a long-term contract. None of this shit, Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is a perfect example of like who you don't want to sign to a long-term contract. Lazy, doesn't do shit. Dwight Howard probably carries a Chanel handbag. Well, wears Louis Vuitton shoes.
I'll say this. Before Dwight Howard got the lazy label and like uninterested in shit, I mean, he was just fucking awesome. I mean,
which is worse because you know how good he can be.
He didn't get the Superman cape for no reason. Like, he was dominant, and the thing was, he stopped being dominant after he got paid. Yep. After he got the contract, the Superman contract, he was done after that. He was like, I'm not interested in doing all that shit. I've earned I've earned the right to be lazy now. Right.
That's what women think when they get married, right?
Yep. Exactly.
I've earned the right to no longer have to be sexy ever again.
Yep.
No, you haven't, bitch.
I'm a mommy.
I'm a mom.
You're right. That's hard work. You don't understand, Wesley. You didn't carry this baby 9 months. You don't have to do this with the baby and that with the baby, and I gotta think about the baby and the baby and the baby
and the baby.
And all of a sudden the baby. Now you're, as a man, you're like, fuck, what's up? You're trying to you're wedging our child between us now.
And Anthony, I think I could have brought this up in front of you, because you've known my wife a long time now. I wouldn't have brought it up just in front of acquaintances. But my wife would tell you that Wesley tells me to go change clothes sometimes. But I don't do it in a way that's mean. I'm like, come on, babe. It's a weekend. Let's sexy it up a little now. I'm not going to go in there and pick out your clothes. But don't wear that shit. Come on, man. What do you do? What is this? What is that? Affliction? Is that an Affliction shirt? Like sometimes she'll put on this old biker gear. You know what I'm talking about? The stuff that has like the wings, feathers, shits on it. And I'm like, babe, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Let me ask you this. Would you mind her wearing your clothes?
Around the house? Yeah. Not at all. No, I find that sexy when women do that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't, if that was my Affliction shirt and that's all she had on, it was just the shirt, I would be like, yeah.
Well, right. If it was like if I owned Affliction shirts. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if she's wearing like an Astros shirt of mine or, Incarnate Word shirt or something. You know, it's
Right,
I
right.
find it very attractive.
Right.
But
I was wondering-
we're talking about leaving the house, and this is like, her ex used to have a motorcycle. They go to motorcycle rallies and shit. And as we all know, motorcyclists dress terribly. And they just do. I don't know why they do,
Wes
but they
is not
do.
into the leather.
No, I'm into leather because and guys, I rode motorcycles most of my life. I'm into leather because it's functional. It has a function. Okay.
Well, why do bikers wear leather, Wesley?
Well, it's because if you fall off that motherfucker, you want something tough.
Exactly.
but-
It's not because they're cool and
Yeah.
fucking. We want to wear leather because we're trying
Some
to prove
guys
a
do.
point. Well, I don't think those guys know the reason when they do, or if they make it another life of their own. Like, what was the name? Who was the name? The Fonz. The Fonz
Yeah.
made the leather
Yeah.
jacket like the thing to wear and shit.
Yeah. And of course, the Fonz rode a motorcycle.
Right.
But there's also a thing in the riding community that's the biker with no bike. I'm not making that up.
No, I know.
And he dresses like he rides.
That guy's a bike.
Yeah, he wears the leather and shit like that. It's like, motherfucker, we're wearing that shit because we need to wear it.
He drives in with his truck and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Jumps out the truck with his fucking leather.
So I'm
Get
not
the
hating.
fuck outta
I'm not
here.
hating on people that ride because I love riding too. But when guys buy a motorcycle that they ride once or twice a year, and they got like a closet full of Harley. I call it Harley costume. You know, I don't need to have the manufacturer of my motorcycle on my leather. But for some reason, man, once these motherfuckers buy a Harley, boy, that now they got to spend like another $5,000 on the Harley costume to ride it. And I've never been able to figure that shit out. So when my wife goes and puts on those throwbacks of shit, I'm like, come on, babe. But by the way, I've only told my wife to change probably 3 times in 3 years. Now, and one of those times was only because I was dressing a little bit more up. I'm running a family here, okay? When we go out in public, and it's probably the military side of me. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, you can't be in BDUs and I'm in Class A's and us march together. That just that's crazy, right?
Yeah, that'll never happen.
You can't do that. I mean, you'd have to split the formation up into different uniforms. Maybe it's a military side of me. But if I'm dressed at like, let's say a 1 is sweatpants and no shirt and no shoes, and a 10 is a tuxedo, you know, to a black tie event, I can't be dressed at a 5 and you're dressed at a 2. So it's not like I had a problem with what she was wearing, but it's like, hey, babe, you're wearing athletic casual and I'm wearing street clothes. We don't fucking match. Come on, man. One of us has got to change, right? But that's why when Bruno asked this question about if she gets a bad haircut, how do you handle it? On television, Anthony, how do they handle it? Because Bruno, I'm going to tell you what my wife said. I'm blue balling the audience again, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm blue balling the audience. No, well, real quick. I asked my wife, I was like, how do you think I would handle this? And she would be like, first of all, I would discuss the haircut with you first. Do you think this is something I should change to if this is a dramatic thing? And I would get your opinion because I want my husband to be attracted to me, right? And we're like, yeah, sounds fucking logical.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, no. The situation is you went and had this done and you surprised me. How would I react? And she's like, you would tell me, look, babe, that shit don't look good.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of you guys don't believe I'm in a relationship like this. But again, guys, as we talked about in the beginning of this of this program, it's not about me domineering over someone. It's about me being domineering over what my life looks like. I don't want to be out in public. And this is what my wife said, right? You don't want to be out in public with someone you don't find attractive. It would be like, okay, now that your hair's like that, I don't want to be seen with your
Well,
ass.
I was just about to say, that you're not holding this bitch hand, and you're definitely not hugged up under her, and then you're going to be like, you wanna her to walk behind you. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, when we get in there, especially if you're going to like an event, he's like, look, when we get in here, just have a seat. You know, find the other chicks. Or
But at
like
a different table, though.
right? Don't associate yourself with me. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's almost like, I'm gonna go in first, and then you come in later. All right? Like, we're not coming in here together. I don't know why you chose today to do this bullshit, but okay.
Uh-oh. The White Knights are emailing us. Hey, when your wife gets a haircut, whether you like it or not, you tell her she's beautiful.
Oh, really?
I love that this is the White Knight anthem now. Rescue me.
You're going to make me hate the song. Yeah. Congratulations. Sorry, Aretha.
How did you make me hate an Aretha Franklin song?
Yeah. Fuck that.
No.
I can't do... White knighting is almost as bad as a misbehaving bitch. Like, I gotta correct both of you motherfuckers. Hey, stop that shit. She don't need you, bruh. Promise you. She don't need you coming in to saving her ass. Matter of fact, guess what? You're still not getting no pussy from it. That's the worst part. White knights think that they getting pussy because they saving these hoes. And it's so far from the truth.
Well, as Bruno pointed out earlier in the chat, and you famously have pointed out in this program, and he's referencing your quotes from an earlier episode. He says, but sometimes it does work, doesn't it? Sometimes a white knight gets laid.
Yeah.
And that's why blue pill guys rather call it getting lucky.
Yep.
Because they don't know how the fuck they got the vagina.
Nope.
But they did. So more of this white knighting shit, right?
Well, yeah, you repeat what you think got you that. In actuality, sometimes the way a white knight comes off may seem confident, right? It may seem like, oh, this guy is powerful.
He's got all the answers.
This guy is powerful enough to stand up against the guy that was treating me bad, and he's gonna do this for me the rest of my life. And guess what, White Knight? You have to White Knight her from everything she does. No matter if she does some dumb shit like attack another man for not wearing a mask.
Yeah, I mean, the White Knight now has to look for real estate options in like the middle of a tiger pit.
Right.
So that he can save her every day that they go outside. The tigers come from, oh no, please. Come on, Tiger King, keep these tigers off of her.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta save this bitch over and over and over again. This is not gonna be some one-time thing. You gotta save this bitch from herself multiple times, man. Man, you're not. And the thing is, guys, that's the fucking rat. That's the cheese on the trap. You're not saving her from another guy. You're saving her from herself. But you think you're saving her from another guy. And you don't realize that this bitch is unstable. What do you do with unstable children when they throw temper tantrums and speak out of turn when you're trying to correct them?
There's two things we do. We first of all, we isolate the child after the behavior and time out. And then after that, we start taking away their privileges. No Xbox. No PS4. No TV today, Junior.
So what does that look like with a woman?
Throttling time. And unless you've done it in a 5-girl rotation,
you wouldn't know how to do this, right?
You don't know how to do it.
This is the thing where we've been trying to get you guys to see why the rotation is so important. It's getting you ready for relationship shit. When you actually do find someone for yourself, you have been through this shit already with lesser bitches. we still don't change our behavior just because she's your specific unicorn. She's still a woman. So you still treat her like you would treat other women. And you're not treating, and the thing is what Wesley was trying to, what Wesley has been saying all night. You're not treating these women special. You know why? Because you're just setting the tone for how you live your fucking life. That's it. You're being steadfast in who you are, what you want, and what you desire, and what you want your life to look like. It don't matter who the bitch is. That's why I said, date. It don't matter what these bitches look like. Just date them. Deal with them. Figure it out. Study yourself. See what your weaknesses are. How many weaknesses you had to figure out before you actually figured it out that this is who you really are. You know what I'm saying? I remember dating and I was like, God damn. I see my weaknesses. My weakness is I give hot bitches more fucking leashes to fuck me over. You know, if you keep, let's for instance, you say this. You let your dog have a long leash. You keep giving your dog a longer and longer leash, longer and longer leash, to the point where you don't even see where the fuck your dog is going and what your dog is doing. And by the time you reach up with your dog, you start pulling the leash back. Your dog is all painted. I got paint on it, got oil on it. You like, what the fuck you been doing?
It's been hit by 3 cars.
You just out here just fucking wilding out. You just fucking out here just getting crazy, huh? And it's like, because you gave the fucking dog too much leash.
It's got porcupine quills on its snout.
It's fucking with everything. Eating trash.
Got a skunk in its mouth.
It's like, what the fuck is happening? Because you gave too much leash. That's exactly what you're doing when you do this with women. You maintain, you say, look, dogs in my life. Oh man, the emails with the dog shit. But this is an analogy.
Women cannot handle analogies.
But dogs in my life are next to me and walking with me, and they are in step with me because I'm the leader of the pack. I'm the pack leader, and we go by my pace.
That's how you really train dogs.
I know.
Too. They walk beside you. Yeah, their shoulder is with your leg.
Yes.
That when you see people walking down the street
and the
like,
dog
whoa,
is fucking, the dog's way out in front of them pulling their ass.
And you know, and this exists in relationships. And here's the analogy I'm going to use. Whenever, have you ever seen anybody that has a dog they're really proud of? Because it's like a big old badass fucking Rottweiler or a big old badass bull mastiff or fucking pit bull or whatever. And the dog's dragging them, and they're almost kind of doing it comedically, like, my dog is so strong.
Right.
That
it's
pulling me. Exactly. But that's how motherfuckers are with fucking women sometimes. Especially if they're with a beautiful bitch.
Right.
Well, she's hot as fuck.
So you gotta let her get away with this shit.
Gotta let her get away with this shit. We saw Jay Cutler last week. We were playing a video clip. Jay Cutler just letting that bitch just... That motherfucker at no time stood up and was like, bitch, I'm Jay Cutler. Who the fuck are you? You're Jay Cutler's wife.
That's who you are.
Fucking dumb bitch. Anthony, let's go into a little bit of a segment on this question that we like to call a deep dive. I want to take Bruno's question further. What if your girlfriend or wife does something to her appearance and it looks horrible? For example, she comes back from a hairdresser all excited to show you her new haircut, but she's got a pink Karen haircut. That's a good example because no man is attracted to a pink Karen haircut. Let's go into a deeper dive. Let's say you tell her, you take our advice, and you say, that don't look good. Like, I don't know how much that costs, but change that immediately. At least get your hair color back or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you and I talked about this before the podcast. And she gives you you don't know about style, and you're going to have to deal with it. Is that pretty common, by the way?
Yeah.
Am I being too hypothetical, Anthony?
No.
Not at all. And guys, especially with your girls in relationships, your wives, all these girls that you want, that may already have your children and shit.
Well,
right?
They're going to post their haircut and get all these confirmations on Instagram.
From girls, not from guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're little weak little beta guys. I like women's haircut too. I can't imagine fucking being on social media, by the way, and being like, hit the like button, love that hair, girl. That's the most beta shit ever, but there are beta men out there. But let's do a deeper dive on this. So she doesn't change it. She doesn't care that you don't like it. So let's ask a question, Anthony, and I'll ask this to you. So who the fuck is this hair for then?
Man, before you even started this, my immediately response was like, who the fuck you trying to impress? Because obviously it's not me.
Because I don't like this shit. And she's like, deal with it. That should bother a woman that her husband's not attracted to her. I know, guys. I know watching all the sitcoms and all the fucking rom-coms and all this bullshit that they have in Hollywood.
My body, my choice.
Yeah. I bet they're lined up to shame you that you don't like your wife's haircut and you should just support her. Really? When you lose your job and don't work for 2 years, she doesn't just support you, does she?
No.
Yeah, women never get shamed for wanting rich men. There's movies about that. But we get shamed because we want to be with attractive women. And I really don't understand why. I don't.
Because we're holding them accountable.
And that's not allowed, right? They want equal everything. Except they don't want equal accountability. Yeah.
Right.
So you gotta ask yourself a question. And guys, it may not be that there's a guy she's trying to impress. That's not always the case. But if your wife is just got all the name brand shit and she looks, what was that fucking show, John and Kate Plus 8? Because she's the one that started the Karen haircut, right?
I don't know that show.
John and Kate Plus 8 was a reality show about this husband and wife that had 8 children. And the show got really, really popular, and it got to both these, the mom and the dad's heads. I mean, they were the 7-Elevens of fame, by the way. They were just,
Tiger King.
Oh my God, yeah. It was just like, and that girl, the wife from John and Kate Plus 8, Kate was the one to start that Karen haircut. She started the show. She was just a normal fucking person, but it was like watching a documentary of people. Wow, we're just regular people, has a family, and they got famous, and how fame changes people. And of course, this bitch, when bitches get famous, there ain't nothing a man can do that's going to satisfy them, unless it's a more famous man, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so she starts dressing to impress other women, to show them, like, hey, I'm Kate. I'm a celebrity. I can wear Burberry and Louis Vuitton, and I can have this weird haircut. And see, ladies, guys, when your spouse or your girlfriend or whatever, when they start dressing to impress other women, to show their value to other women, and they're not dressing sexy for you and attractive for you, guys, and we said this before the show, right? You have been ignoring a real relationship problem. This problem's been going on for a minute.
I was about to say, man, if you can get the fuck out.
Well, let me tell our listeners what can means. Anthony says if you can, get the fuck out. So specifically, if you don't have children with this person, get the fuck out. This is not going to end until she knows you're willing to walk away and
mean it.
Mean it. Exactly. When your chick, and by the way, I've got a friend, Anthony. You know who he is because we were in a fantasy league together. I'll tell you after the show who it is.
All right.
But he's dating a 7-Eleven.
Okay.
I would even call this bitch more like an 8-11.
Okay.
So I'm sure to her, I mean, I'm sure in his eyes, because he's in love with her, I'm sure she looks like a 10 to him.
Okay.
But goddamn, watching him go through this, it's like watching someone go through like a Holocaust.
Oh shit.
That's the first thing that comes to mind with 7-Elevens. They're so expensive, dude. They dress for other women.
Blood. Is it Blood?
No.
Okay.
And she is a like I said, she's more like an 8.
Okay.
And she's a light-skinned black girl. I notice really, really hot black girls.
I know what you're talking about because I dealt with. He was telling me about
Super
it.
Bowl. Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you get to see her?
Yes.
She was there. Yeah, she's a hottie.
Yes.
And so I thought she didn't show up.
She wasn't there.
Oh, but
he showed
you saw
me
on the phone. Yeah.
He showed me. Yeah.
Hottie. This girl is a hottie, but she's not an 11.
No.
And just
she's like
could you give us a? Could you had a?
She's
deep,
Italian and black or some shit, right?
She's gorgeous too.
Yeah, she's.
But let me tell you, you did a deep dive with him. What was this guy going through? So people can kind of know what this looks like when you're dealing with this expensive bitch who's no longer dressing to attract you. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just dressing to just show the world how Michelle Obama like they are. And
there's a thing with black women, man. And it just is what it is because different cultures just have different beliefs and different ways of thinking. And when they're in relationships, like and women have like a lot of similarities, but certain cultures do like do certain shit. And
well, I've been in almost relationships with black women. Like we were real close, and the one that I'm specifically thinking about, I was in the Army and I just had to move to another base, and we couldn't keep it going long distance.
In this, man, black women treat men outside of their race differently than they do men.
I'm about to say because every black woman I've ever dated was very submissive to me. I mean, they kind of had a hard exterior. Like the cold approach to go talk to them for the first time was hard, and then they were like. Very much like a scared animal. Like, hey, are you just trying to fuck me?
Yes, bitch.
No.
Yes, I'm trying to fuck you.
And but once you got past that, man, these were down bitches, man.
The thing is, that's what a lot of men, especially black men, appreciate from black women. That they got. So your back.
That is a cultural thing with black women.
Yeah, they got your back. If you're their woman, I mean, if they're your woman, they got your fucking back.
Okay.
It's just the shit you got to do in between that you got to have a lot of fucking patience for it because it's like a PT.
Well, give me an example of one.
It's like a woman with PTSD, man. That's been through shit in her past or in her family, and you are going to receive the brunt end of what she's lacking in her life or what she has been a victim of in her life. And you got to be her fucking therapist, her fucking daddy, her fucking brother, her fucking cousin, her lover. You got to be a lot of shit. And
that sounds like a lot of work.
It is a lot of fucking work. That's what I'm saying. They treat other men outside their race different because they don't want to expose all that shit.
Oh, so that's what I was experiencing then.
Oh yeah, you got the what they call mask on version. Like, I get the mask off shit. Like because I'm supposed to just understand why she's like this.
Ugh, that sounds.
But
like
my
I said, like
thing
a lot
is
of work.
But this is why I say, especially black men need to hear this the most. For me, in my opinion, why. I'm like, hey, if you're a black man, you need to definitely take this in because religion kind of keeps them from taking in red pill knowledge, though. But
you're saying with black men?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's totally against. It seems like it's like totally against what they've been taught to treat a woman like, right? But they don't give a fuck about how their own life is supposed to play out because they're just supposed to lay down like a fucking red carpet for the woman to step on.
Because they're dealing with extremes, right? Because there's a thing in the black community, depending on what city you live in. But if I'm using an example like maybe New York City or Chicago, there's that extreme opposite end of the spectrum of like a guy who literally pimps out women in the black community. Like there's that extreme. So I guess they want to, on the religious side, go to the opposite extreme of like just laying down your coat over the mud puddle, or because they just want to be such the opposite of this thing over here, right?
Well, they're definitely running away from the trauma. So they
that's a good take too. They're running away from the trauma also.
So they don't want to be associated with it, especially if they find themselves dating outside of their race. So they won't try to bring that trauma with them in those relationships. But when they are in the same race relationship, those traumas come with them in luggages, and then they hand them to you and be like, well, you know this exists, so no sense in me trying to hide it, but you know I come with this shit, and you should take it because I'm a black woman and you're a black man. And it's not fair, but at the same time, you don't have to accept this burden, guys. We all have our own shit to deal with. Everybody had a sad song and a past history that wasn't the best experience, right? But it's not your partner's job to fucking shoulder that shit.
Jesus, I couldn't have said that better. I told you recently I was dealing with some sort of PTSD, I'm guessing from my childhood. People that listen to this program know that I was beaten up pretty bad as a kid. And I told you recently about some dreams that I was having, and it was repeat, same dream. And I guess I've been dealing with this for like 3 weeks. And I told you about it because we're boys and we just got to talk about life together. That's been our friendship in a nutshell, right? Mm-hmm. You and I talk about how life was, how life is, and how we hope it will be. Exactly. Right? That's always been our mantra, you know, when you and I are talking. And I was telling my wife, I was like, yeah, I've been dealing with these dreams. And she was like, well, what's going on in the dreams? And I was like, well, bad stuff. You know, and it would have been what? Very therapeutic if I just sit there and just dump all my shit. And I could have become a little baby and just let her
rub
me
your
in my
head.
arms.
Yeah, it's okay, baby. I'm here for you.
That kind of shit makes me look weak. And I don't like being weak in front of my wife. Now, I will tell the truth to our listeners. I did tell her about these dreams, but it was only after she came to me and was like, hey, I want to know that, you know, if you're going through something, I want to be able to help you. And I'm like, babe, I don't think you can help me. You know, I don't think you can really help me. And she's like, well, I want you to be able to talk to me. And she kind of came kind of like, she wanted to know. But she had to absolutely pull it out of me because my default setting is I don't treat my wife like my fucking therapist. A lot of guys make this mistake in relationships.
Well, they will vomit this shit freely as soon as they get an opportunity to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they don't stop. It's always because what happens is this, Wesley.
You do it once.
Exactly. Once you start any little fucking thing, right? And now when she hears you, now you're just complaining. Mm-hmm. Now, guess what? She got to shoulder this shit. And now you call yourself just kind of getting it off your chest. But now she's like, this motherfucker is falling apart.
Yep.
And I got to hold this family together or we going to lose everything. This is how they fucking, you know, compute the shit that you normally just carry. If you was by yourself, you wouldn't be doing this to another woman. Especially a girl you're trying to date. You wouldn't do this shit.
Well,
so why would you do this to your wife?
Some guys will do that, and they will not get the next date.
I was just about to say, they wouldn't do it successfully. They wouldn't be able to get a second fucking therapist appointment. I guarantee you that. And if they do, that bitch is gonna like, look, I ain't got time for this shit. I
Oh
don't,
man,
this
is a lot.
But do not fall into the trap of feeling like you can be able to do this all the time. This is something. You know what you gotta also do once you do reveal that shit. You gotta show her that you overcame it and that this no longer is over your head. This doesn't just have this is not a dark cloud that's following you continuously. You actually broke through and now you're over it.
Well, and then in real life, and by the way, when she finally pulled this out of me, like what these dreams were, I still had the guard up of like telling her, just like I'm telling you guys right now, very clinically. You know what I'm saying? I told her very clinically what the dreams were. Not doing, like, I can say...
Not how it makes you feel.
Yeah, I can say, like, this larceny bottle here. I dropped the larceny bottle and it broke. Or I can say, God, I can't believe it. I dropped the larceny bottle and it broke. I can't believe I fucked that up, man. You know what I'm saying? Or I can just be like, yeah, I dropped the larceny bottle. And
because that other shit was scary.
Yeah.
Like, this motherfucker's going to fall apart.
Exactly. I'm like, yeah, I'm just kind of dealing with these dreams. I'm talking about it very clinically.
Bro, I've done that. I've made that mistake, man. And you're right. The simpler you make it, the easier it is to digest. And they don't have to deal with the emotion shit. Yeah. They can just say, oh, okay. Well, it's concerning, but it's not fucking breaking him down, you know, to at his core. You know what I mean? To where he's going to change and not be the same man that I depend on and trust and love, you know? So if they have any reason to believe that you're not going to be just as strong as they think you are, shit tests are coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they coming back to back to back to back to back to make sure you're the winner that she thought you were.
And specifically in this case, when I told her what was going on in the dream, she was like, well, that's just silly because you would seriously ground and pound the fuck out of this motherfucker in real life. And I'm like, I know, man. That's why it's even harder for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would beat this motherfucker's ass in real life, but in this dream, it's not working out like that. And I was like, I'll eventually figure it out. I was like, I'm just kind of stuck on repeat on this thing, and it's terrorizing my sleep. I'm not getting good rest.
Man, that shit when you don't have control shit is the most frustrating things, man.
Yeah. And but her, I think, verbalizing for me what reality is, I never had that dream since then. Well, because I think she just pointed out, like, well, that would never go down in real life, you know. And I don't want to go into a deep dive. You and I will go into a deep dive about this later tonight. But I never had any negative dreams after that. I even had some lingering dreams and same scenarios, and I was different in the scenarios after hearing the person that I trust, my spouse, telling me kind of how that's not real life. And it must have really affected me because I never had those dreams ever again. I do want to touch, before we end the show, though, I do want to touch this again, guys. If you're in a marriage, if you're in a relationship, your wife, your spouse has got to follow all the same rules that the girls in your rotation did. Otherwise, what, Anthony? You didn't choose the right chick.
Damn sure.
If she was just doing a dressed rehearsal the whole time you were dating, and then you got in a relationship, and she's now all of a sudden changing the way she dresses, and she looks like Karen, and she's wearing pantsuits every day and shit. Actually, you know what? Pantsuits can be sexy. I take that back.
Yeah, I've seen some sexy ones.
Pantsuits can be sexy. I take that back. But what is it that Karen wears, Anthony? What is Karen's uniform?
I'm sorry. I was thinking about what's that chick name in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
I can't remember any of the characters' names.
Damn, the sister. Fuck. Begins with a C, maybe? Fuck. Anyway, if you guys know in the chat, let me know. But Karen's uniform is...
Yeah, what is it? I mean...
She definitely got something sparkly on.
Oh, yeah, this is like Texans Karen.
The fucking sparkles,
It's bedazzled.
Something is bedazzled. It's always off color. She's wearing some colors that don't fucking match.
If she's wearing anything sports related, it's always bedazzled.
Yes.
If she is a Los Angeles Lakers fan, that's going to be in rhinestones across her shirt.
She's probably got her name on her sunglasses. She's usually like mismatching. Like she's in heels if she got on jeans, but usually they're flip flops. Like she's confusing being out and being at home with her uniform.
She's also confusing being outdoors or going to Starbucks. Bitch wears a lot of North Face and loves these puffy sleeveless vests. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Loves them Uggs, doesn't she?
Oh man, definitely, and it's too much. Like she's not like I said. I've never seen her.
Oh, we got one of this in the chat here. I was about to say super chat.
Oh.
Jean jacket. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, that definitely a jean jacket. With capris.
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 When you ever see a bitch in the club wearing capris? Ever?
I seen that shit.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
You're like, I synced it.
I synced that shit.
I just, oh my god,
the big hair don't
the
care.
Big Karen hairstyle. We're doing a Google search for this right now.
The
like,
big
what
hair
do Karens
bob
wear?
shit. Yeah. What the fuck? Oh, it's this thing. Yeah. I can't stand fucking Karen. That's that comb over shit.
Oh, also, bitch has left the word feminine behind in her hairstyle for like the last 10 years.
You know what, man? Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
That haircut, that bob / lesbian haircut.
Well, you're talking about the one that in her most recent movie. What's that most recent movie?
That
terrible fucking hair. And notice in real life she don't have that hair. She's like, dude, I'm not fucking gonna look like this. I'm not fucking stupid. Because when she was doing promos for the movie, and it's a Netflix movie too.
Yeah, I know. It got that axe looking thing she had.
Yeah, exactly. God, what is that movie?
I know what you're talking about. Some protecting something. I can't remember, man. The Guardians.
Is it the Guardian? The Old Guard.
The Old Guard. Yeah.
Boy, if you want to see Karen hair, look up Charlize Theron and the Old Guard. Oh my God, that was the most terrible. Oh, look at her, dude.
I saw.
Why do you want to have a man haircut, Charlize Theron? Well, you know what? I think she just did it for the role.
No, you're wrong.
Because her hair's not like that now.
Yeah, it is.
When she was doing promos for the movie, her hair was blonde and gorgeous. She ain't rocking that hairstyle in real life. She ain't crazy.
We might have to do a show on it because she's complaining about not being able to be with a man too.
What? Charlize Theron?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it because she has this hairstyle? That looks like a guy from like a guy from the 1950s hairstyle.
I was looking at a movie with her in it. Do you remember The Devil's Advocate?
Of course.
Remember she had this fucking beautiful, fluffy, long, like
black hair, right?
I thought it was gold.
Oh, no.
It was
Yeah, it was
gold.
blonde in the beginning, then she had it dyed.
It dyed it black, and then it was short cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the fuck? Because I was so attracted to all that hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then she cut him. Like, what the fuck you do that for?
And guys, we're bringing this up because when bitches start cutting their hair like super short,
Man.
let me tell you what happens. It only keeps getting shorter.
And I'm trying to tell you, man, the short hair shit, I don't know who is convincing these bitches that shit is attractive.
I know who is. 49ers. They're telling these dumb bitches that are really hot, quit being that hot. Be more something that we're not offended by your beauty.
I'm gonna send you an article about I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you so you can see the switch up. The reason women are having problems getting men, and she's one of them, man. She can't find a man.
Well, I've always said about Charlize Theron, and
she's fine as hell to me. Like
She
in
is.
movies, she's always been the one I've been attracted to. Like, damn, you can't find a man. You fucking the Eon Flex. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Exactly. You a beautiful bitch. Like, what's going on? You what's she playing? The Avengers. What does she play in Avengers?
No, not at all.
Okay, never mind.
You're thinking of Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. God, never mind. I'm sorry, Scarlett. My fault.
Yeah, please. In my opinion, please do not compare those two.
They're not the
because
same.
Scarlett Johansson
Is
has
way
never
beautiful.
done stupid fuckery
Right.
with her hair.
Right.
That I'm aware of. It's just like it's almost like Charlize Theron does shit with her hair because she's like, I don't want to be too hot. That won't be good for my brand. Bitches will be mad if I get too hot.
What's that show on Netflix when they got divorced and was she playing that role too?
That was Scarlett Johansson.
That was Scarlett
Where
Johansson.
they had to like for her to be in a serious acting role, they had to bring
make
her
her
beauty
ugly.
all the way
Yeah.
down. Remember the clothes she was wearing
That
in
was
that
horrible.
fucking
And
Oh
then,
my God.
And then they make her cut her hair too.
Yeah, of course.
See?
Of course.
See what I'm saying?
What is that show called? I'm looking it up now.
I forgot, man.
We've talked about it on the podcast before because we did a segment
Yes, we did.
on that movie.
That dude last name was Driver, I believe.
Yeah, divorce movie.
Next.
It was nominated for Best Picture, and I thought it was going to win.
It was a good show. It was a good movie. Definitely we had to talk about, the bullshit that was in that movie, but
I think you and I went in. It's called Marriage Story.
yes.
By the way,
see
look at her in
that
Marriage Story.
Beautiful,
This terrible.
That beautiful bitch. He turned that bitch into a fucking halfway lesbian.
This is a rule in Hollywood. Unless 49ers cannot be offended by your beauty, you're not allowed to be a serious actress. You're just not allowed. You have to be so accessible to these fucking insecure hoes. We didn't talk about 49ers, how promiscuous they were, by the way. I hate that we didn't go into that tonight.
We got a little time. What you want to discuss?
Well, the reason 49ers have their all this crazy confidence is because guys that are 10s fuck them.
Yeah.
And they fuck them like, you know how like people that work out religiously and they watch every calorie that goes in their body and they have protein shakes and BCAAs that they drink before every workout and pre-workout, but every once in a while they'll have a pizza. That's what it's like when a man that's a 10 fucks a 49er. He's like, I just want some easy pussy tonight. God damn
Yeah,
it.
because you got to work for it for a fucking 9, 10, actual 9 and 10.
Yeah.
Bitch.
A 10, a guy that's a 10 can meet a 49er in a bar and he's just like, look, I just want to be fucking him. I want to be in
Yes.
a bitch in an hour.
Right.
And so he'll grab this 49er. Oh, look at you. You got a little pep in your step.
Right.
That was a funny joke you said, 49er.
Exactly.
That was hilarious. You know what? Let me break you off some dick. Come back to the crib.
Yep.
And then when they fucking think, because a fucking 10 fucked them, they're like, and this is what I'm going to have the rest of my life.
Yep. They think this is available to me. Well, this is just available to me.
I mean, I've trapped men with sex before.
Right.
Surely I can get this one. And then what happens, Anthony, when the 49er, when she doesn't get that guy that she wants, she's, again, guys, y'all don't understand. They got this verbal chess down. Okay? You know what happened? Chris Hemsworth fucked me. He didn't call me back. Men are afraid of commitment. That is every woman that has fucked a man out of her league has spout that dumb bullshit.
Oh my God.
He just afraid of commitment. Bitch, he ain't afraid of commitment. He's afraid of waking up next to you.
Right. And he's afraid of impregnating you accidentally. Because you know this bitch ain't getting rid of that baby.
No. These 49ers, man, they are clever girls. That's like that movie Jurassic Park. Clever girl.
Oh, yeah.
Those Velociraptors.
Yeah, flanked them.
If 49ers, and again, if you're joining the program late, these are women that are 4s that think that they're 9s. 49ers, they are, if they were dinosaurs, they would be the Velociraptors.
Oh.
Very smart,
Treacherous. Very
tricky.
Yeah.
They pick up and learn things really fast, like they can operate doorknobs and shit.
They can tap with their middle claw.
Yeah.
Let you know that, hey, I'm still coming for your
I'm
ass.
still, hey, I'm going to call you next week. I'm going to fake like I'm pregnant. And latch on to you for another. Man, I'm sorry, we lost the baby. Bitch, I've been dating you for like 2 extra months because I thought you were pregnant. God damn it. Yeah, man.
Fellas. Oh, man, that's a whole nother segment. Pretend to be pregnant, bitches.
We got to write that one down.
Oh, man.
The pretending to be pregnant, bitches. It's happened to me twice.
Oh, that sucks.
It's happened to me twice. Guys, let me give you the answer to that so I don't blue ball you guys on that one. And we'll go into a segment on this one day, but as we're running out of time tonight, let me give you the go-to. If anybody watching has this happen, hey, I'm pregnant. What I'm going to do? You can't break up with me. I'm pregnant. Repeat after me, fellas. You know what, girl? I just found out 2 weeks ago that I can't have children. Do you know how much this hurts me that you would lie to me like this? That's your go-to. Trust me, if she's really pregnant, that ain't going to work. But if she is pregnant, I'm sorry, if she isn't pregnant, she's gonna shut up real quick
and then make up some dumbass lie like she playing. I was just joking with you.
I was just joking with you.
I was just so sad that you were trying to leave me.
Bitch, you lying. Jesus Christ. Episode 40, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, episode 40.
In the books.
Anthony, how can they find us on the World Wide Web?
Man, everywhere. We got that YouTube channel. We got Facebook. We don't have a Twitter, do we?
No, we don't. We should.
We should probably have a Twitter. That would be fun. We on Instagram. We on that iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, where a lot of you guys have been listening the last few weeks. Thank you, by the way.
Google Podcasts. We on that Apple Podcast. We on Spotify and iCloud. Man, we out here.
As always, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe so you can get all of our content. This is episode 40. I can't believe it's been 40 weeks. We missed 1 week on one holiday.
Man, don't talk about this shit.
40 weeks of Red Pill knowledge, Red Pill coaching. Hopefully it's been a huge benefit to you guys. I think we're going to have to do, Anthony, something special on episode 50. We're going to have to come up with a great episode for these guys on episode 50.
We might have to do a bottle of something special.
Bottle of something special. I like that idea. Absolutely. Thanks again, guys, for making us part of your week. As always, we appreciate you being here right here on
The Red Pill Phone Tap.